Good times.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Y'all know what it is. We just had breaking news for those of you who did not see.
Did we?
Commanders have signed defensive lineman Dietrich Wise, and we just were sharing a laugh in the
We don't even know
background.
where to put him.
Right.
Defensive lineman, not tackle, not edge, just defensive line.
So it falls in line with what we've been doing here of late.
Mhm.
And so, hey, how y'all doing, man? What's going on, everybody, man? It's the Commanders Kings
Yeah.
back in all of their full splendor. Free agency. Happy New Year!
Yeah,
Happy
we
New
made
Year,
it.
everybody.
We made it, y'all. We made it through the dog days of no news of the offseason. We're here now.
We got news now. We got news now. You might not like the news, but we got news now.
There
So,
is news. In fact, news.
So I want to start off the show by getting everybody's reaction, their initial reaction to everything that has happened to this point. So since the last time we spoke, we've traded for Laramie
Tunsil.
We signed Javon Kinlaw.
Yeah.
Signed Eddie
Will
Goldman.
Harris. Eddie Goldman, Will
Signed
Harris.
Will Harris. We've
Correct.
signed Jonathan Jones, and we've now signed Dietrich Wise. So we're going to the New England Patriots store apparently now.
Hey, which one is a freak athlete, Rico?
Will
Neither.
Harris.
Will Harris.
Will
Will
Harris.
Harris.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Will Harris
Yeah.
is the freak athlete.
He had like a
So-
9.6 something, I think.
Yeah, his
RIS score.
Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
I want to get your initial reactions to everything, and maybe if you want to, it's up to you and how you want to display it. But you might can go in sections. Maybe you were, absolutely taken aback by the trade for Laramie Tunsil, and you were, over the moon, and then you kind of came down after that. Or where are you in the process? Because it's mixed reviews, and a lot of fans have not been happy with what Adam Peters has done to this point. People have criticized some of the moves, the Javon Kinlaw move. A lot of people criticize how much money he got and the amount of that contract. So talk to me about your emotions going through this free agency period. I'll start with you, Rio.
It's very interesting. Like we was live through the beginning of the tampering period of free agency, and I'm sitting back like, just wait on it. Like, we're not about to sign the 25 players that we need to fill this roster on day one of free agency. And then Kinlaw was what started it all. Everybody was banking on someone from their Christmas list of free agency to be one of the sign. Nobody in the world had us signing Javon Kinlaw, and then they saw 3-year contract, $15 million per. And I'm like, I'm willing to give Adam Peters the benefit of the doubt. I like Javon Kinlaw when he came into the league. He's 27 years old. That signing looks so much better today as the new league year has begun because he's one of the few players that's actually still young that we signed. We're doing a lot of business with 30 to 31-year-olds, but not all 30 to 31-year-olds are creative because later that day, Adam Peters, the silent assassin he is, comes out to cut with a mega trade for Laramie Tunsil. Not one person has linked us to Laramie Tunsil. I haven't heard any trade conversation about Laramie Tunsil this entire offseason. And while everybody was expecting Washington to do certain things, we zigged while others zagged, and we made the biggest move on the first day of free agency. The reason people don't feel as excited because it's tampering period. You want to put pen to paper with somebody for a contract, 5-year deal. But we made the first trade of the offseason floodgates with Deebo Samuel, and we made another huge trade, which ended up being the biggest move on day one. So I need fans to realize we have been getting active. We started this shit back at the deadline. Our offseason started back in November when we added Marshawn Lattimore. We have been the most aggressive team in the NFL. So to say that we haven't done anything, bro, we've given up 8 picks. We've given up 8 draft picks for 3 what should be marquee players for us. Deebo Samuel, we only had to give up a 5th for. We gave up a big compensation swap for Laramie Tunzel. This is the best left tackle we've had here since Trent Williams. We don't even have to think about that position here anymore. And Deebo Samuel, no S at the end. You know, I know our black people, we like to throw that S at the end. We're going to Walmarts, we're going to Targets, the Miami Heat. It's Deebo Samuel, no S.
Orlando Magics.
The Magics. Oh, bro, I hate it, bro. I want to get out that conversation as soon as I hear it. But we've made impact acquisitions. They just weren't signings. But make sure when you speak of our haul for 2025, you speak of the trades that we made. But obviously, the signings that we've made, Will Harris is probably the next exciting one that we got, because Jeremy Chin walked and we went and got Diet Coke Jeremy Chin in free agency. You know, he played for the Saints last year. It's the diet version of Chin, same type of athletic profile, maybe not as much production, but my Saints friend told me good things about him. But fans want things that they know. Brand names make you feel good. Things that you know, things that you had on a short list. Nobody that people drafted as a tweet is being signed. And we're not signing players under 30 years old. So I can get where fans are coming from. But Adam Peters has done nothing to deserve a lot of the disdain, hatred, and fire him and nonsense and discourse that I've seen. It's a lot of BS conjecture about Adam Peters that I see. But the team definitely didn't get worse. It's just we're trying to figure out as a fan base exactly what the plan is, because based on what I've seen so far, not only do we need to hit on these draft picks and add some more during the draft, it feels like a lot of last year's picks and this year's picks are going to have to be a part of the plan, because they're not bringing young players on this roster. So that's where I stand as we sit here on Wednesday night, the first day of the league year.
Ed, talk to us.
So yeah, I mean, the Laramie Tunzel trade was definitely out of left field. I was hyped when that happened, man. To get a left tackle like that to protect Jaden Daniels, the dog. And of course, you know, we can make our jokes about the gas mask and all that stuff, but at 30, like, he's still doing it. He's still one of the top tackles in the league right now. So we improved there, and I know there was question marks about Brandon Coleman. Where is he going to be at? There's still question marks about where he's going to be at, but I think for the majority, people feel like he's going to be a left guard. So we got our answer on that. So that was good moving forward with the offensive line. I think we got better. We got better on the offensive line. Like, that's the best left tackle we've had since Trent Williams. So, and we're known for having good left tackles like Chris Samuels, Trent. You know, we usually have a good left tackle. So it's good to have that for our franchise guy. As far as the signings, yeah, I mean, you didn't get Charvarius Ward. You didn't get a lot of the guys that we thought, DJ Reed at corner or trade for Trey Hendrickson. That's a done deal. That's not going to happen. We're not going to give up a first and more for whatever Cameron Wolf reported. So a lot of those options just fell off the board. Even Westbrook Akina, he had a solid deal for a year. He's off the board.
Yeah.
So he's off the board. And
hey, we could have used him, man. I'm telling you.
Slayton is back on the Giants for an affordable deal. Actually, his deal was like a little bit more than what I thought. Then we had De'Ami Brown and Dante sounding off on Twitter to set the tone for free. Dante's still out there. He's still available. So that was a good start to free agency, seeing those guys talk like that. That was pretty funny to me. But I thank those guys for their services. But seeing them mouth off on Twitter definitely I felt some kind of way about that. But it is what it is. I hope those guys get their money. And then Jonathan Jones, I think he's a solid signing.
One of them already did.
Yeah, De'Ami got his deal, so he's got a documentary going on somewhere else. Where did he sign? With Tennessee, I believe.
Jacksonville.
Okay, so yeah, shout out to De'Ami
like
for
10 mil.
10
hey,
million.
man.
Jaden got him paid, man. A lot of guys got to thank Jaden for getting them paid.
A jag on the Jags. You love to see it.
Yeah.
What I tell y'all? Didn't I tell y'all he was gonna get more money than y'all thought? I told y'all there was a market for him. I told y'all.
Hey, getting $10 to $12 million with under 800 yards of production with a healthy 4 years is good
That
for
is
you, bro.
wild work.
Insane.
Yeah.
His agent, blessed, man, blessed.
No, that playoff run will go in history, man. He's got to thank Jaden every day and every night for that contract. But yeah, I mean, it's just I think fans are disappointed because of a lot of, like you said, Rio, a lot of the guys that we thought, like I think everybody thought the Trey Hendrickson trade was going to happen when the reports came out. Multiple Diana Rossini and Schultz and all of them said that. So everybody was caught up on that. I think that not happening disappointed the fans. No Josh Sweat, no Milton Williams, none of those guys. So yeah, I mean, basically just all the names that everybody thought we were going to get, we didn't get. Kinlaw is interesting. You know, I'm not going to say whether I like it or not. It's just a wait and see kind of thing, like the whole elephant in philosophy with Dan Quinn. We'll see how that works out. You know, he's had an up and down career, knee injuries, and it didn't work out with the Niners. Jonathan Jones is a solid signing. This guy Wise, we'll see. Like, you know, he's going to be in a rotation, a defensive end, so we'll see how that works out.
Hey, he got the same amount of career sacks as D Payne. Hey,
right. And I think you know, Ben St. Juste leaving is a good thing. I wish him the best too. So I think we upgraded there just by subtraction, to be honest, right there. And yeah, I mean, there's some work to be done, man. Cornerback is still a position of need. Defensive end is still a position of need, and then defensive tackle, it's a rotation of guys. So it's to be honest, it's tough to say that we got better at the DT spot. So it's a lot of wait and see for that position for me. And we still got the draft. We don't have a lot of picks. So we got to handle picks.
Yeah,
Rico.
I feel like one of the biggest takeaways is that they're clearly trying to make sure we can stop the run. You could tell that they felt like stopping the run was our biggest problem last year. And like even with the signing of like Eddie Goldman. Now, granted, none of the defensive linemen that we've signed over the past like couple of days are just coming in. We're assuming they're going to be Pro Bowlers or Hall of Famers, but at least Eddie Goldman comes in at like 320. He's probably going to be like your nose tackle, zero tech, maybe one tech at sometimes, depending on how you form things. I'm not expecting him to be like a starter, but now we have a guy that in certain situations we can depend on him to maybe eat up some double teams. With the effect that we lost in having that John Ridgeway, you kind of get that back a little bit with Eddie Goldman. And then Javon Kinlaw, I'm intrigued by because that whole elephant thing with the Seahawks and stuff like that. That sounds like they're going to try to play him at 315 pounds on the edge. And I know we struggled with stopping the run last year, especially on the edge, but that's a lot of human on at the edge position. We had Jonathan.
They call the elephant end. The elephant end, is that what they call him?
Yeah, man. We had Jonathan Allen at the D tackle at 280. We're about to have 315 at edge. So you could just tell maybe they're going a little too far about it, but you could tell they are doing everything they can to stop the run. And even the defensive backs that we've brought in, Will Harris and Jonathan Jones, both hit hard. So now you add them to a group that already has Mike Sanders still, and even Marshall Lattimore at time flashes, at least the attempt and the willpower to, stop the run, make some big hits. I mean, I think, what was it, Will Harris or Jonathan Jones? I can't remember which one's highlights I was just watching earlier. One of them had like Bijan Robinson going backwards on a tackle. Like these guys.
Now, Will Harris had Algier.
It was
strong.
Algier.
That was Algier.
Algier don't go backwards.
Algier plays with a screw. I mean, Will Harris plays with a screw loose like Louvu. He gonna fit right in here.
He smacked CeeDee Lamb too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, so I love that. At the very least, we've improved as far as stopping the run by committee. It's not like we brought in like this one dominant run stopper, but it just seems like we're bringing in a lot of toughness. One thing about this team, we're going to be more physical than we were last year. Even with Laramie Tunsil at tackle and Deebo Samuel at receiver, this team is a lot tougher. And we've already discussed in previous live streams that it's going to be a while before we catch up to the Eagles in talent. So the way that we can potentially get through them this year is to just out-tough them, to out-physical those guys and take their will away from wanting to play football. Keep hitting them in the mouth like Jalen Carter was trying to do to Tyler Biadasz in the NFC Championship. We brought in a lot of guys that kind of have that screw loose like that. So I just feel like at the very least we'll have far more intensity than we had last year. I mean, going from Benjamin St. Juste to Jonathan Jones in just pure aggression and physicality alone should show you the gap.
Hey, St. Juste is out of the building, y'all. Let's clap one up. Let's pull one out. Let's pull one
Yes,
for St. Juste leaving, brother. French Canadian is gone.
I wish him the best.
Bless
it
up
was
to the
crazy
Chargers.
too. We play the Chargers this year, don't we?
That's up to
We
the
do.
Chargers.
We do play the Chargers. Yeah.
We play the Chargers this year.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to see what that looks like.
Terry gonna finally get that 150. We ain't get him in a game yet. That day, line him up, run the ones with him. If it's not him, Debo or somebody, man, come on.
He still got beef with. Wasn't that St. Juice that one training camp practice? I think it was 2023 where he did like a late hit on somebody, and then Terry got in his face.
Yeah.
Terry may be holding on to that grudge a little bit when we play against them. You
Bring
know
it back.
So,
Bring it back.
Yeah. Find that within yourself.
Dumb.
But I just think, I know a lot of fans are upset because we didn't get a lot of the names that we had on our wish list. I would say that Travarius Ward was probably the one that hurt the most. But at the end of the day, we're better than we were last year. To get a top 3, at worst top 5 left tackle, and you still have your first and second round pick this year and your first round pick the next year is insane, in my opinion. And then that also makes the rest of the offensive line better. I'm pretty sure we're probably going to dive into it as like a discussion topic on what we're going to do. But I would probably move Brandon Coleman to left guard, then until Samuel Cosme's ready, 100%. I guess Nick Allegretti could start at right guard. You leave Andrew Wiley at right tackle. Wiley, for me, is fine at right tackle as long as Cliff Kingsbury is the offensive coordinator, because he schemes the offense up in a way to kind of mask Wiley's weaknesses, which Eric Bieniemy didn't do. Bieniemy just left Andrew Wiley out there on an island. But Kingsbury brings some chips in.
Yeah, facts.
And Tunsil, to that point, you don't need to have Luke McCaffrey chip in the left tackle like we had to do with the edge rusher, like we had to do with Brandon Coleman at times. I love Brandon Coleman, but I think his highest ceiling.
We was chipping on both sides before the running back or the tight end went out. They had to get a piece before they went out.
Everybody was chipping, bro.
So now we got Tunsil on an island. That makes the rest of the offensive line better. I'm just really excited. I think Deebo Samuel is going to be on his best behavior because a lot of these guys that we brought in, at best, they have 2 years left on their deal, except for Javon Kinlaw. So we're going to probably get these guys as motivated as possible. Like Laramie Tunsil, compared to other left tackles right now, is pretty underpaid for these final 2 years of his contract. Deebo Samuel is on a 1-year, very minimal guaranteed money deal right now. So I think we're going to get the best version of these guys on top of the fact that they're very talented. So I'm really excited. I think at the very least we did right by Jaden Daniels. We can talk about the guys we didn't get. Talanoa Hafangas, of course, after he was gone and Jeremy Chin was gone, we wanted Javon Holland. We missed out on Travarius Ward. But at the end of the day, if Jaden Daniels is very happy with what we've done this offseason.
Yep.
So let me talk to y'all about Dietrich Wise real quick, because I see a lot of people asking about him in the comment section. So I can talk to you about Dietrich Wise. So Dietrich Wise fell in the draft. I can't remember if it was the 18 draft or the 19 draft.
I think it was the 17.
17, 18, one of them.
It was the 17
draft. He came out of Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken. And he fell in the draft a little bit because he did not test well. But he was everything that what was the dude that we took in the second round out of Alabama that was ass?
Ryan Anderson.
He was everything that Ryan Anderson was supposed to be. He is a damn good football player. He sets a physical ass edge. He can get after the quarterback a little bit. Like, don't look for him to get you double-digit sacks, but he'll get you 5. He gonna
get you Payne Allen type sack production. That's what
he gonna get you 4.5, right? Somewhere in that neighborhood. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, he's starting. Okay, he's our new Cleveland Farrell. He's an upgrade over, and that's kind of how I gauge everything that we're doing this offseason. Is this dude is a football player. He is going to be physical in the run game. He is going to clean up some sacks. He's not going to win outright, just whoop a tackle's ass. But he can, when chaos has been created and the quarterback's looking for somewhere to escape, he's the guy that's going to clean it up, right? Like Cleveland Farrell got a couple of sacks like that last year, right?
Yep, off the early, and then we never saw him again.
Exactly, right? He came close in the Eagles game like 3 times against Kenny Pickett, but Wise is an upgrade over Cleveland Farrell. And everything that they're doing is they're upgrading over what we had in that position, or at least that's what they think they're doing, and that's what we have to assume they're doing. I can tell you right now, Dietrich Wise is an upgrade over Cleveland Farrell. I can tell you that right now. He's long, he's physical, at the point of attack, he can move, and again, he's not going to, wow you with his pass rush ability. He's average at best in that regard, but he's solid. He's an upgrade over Cleveland Farrell. When you look at Eddie Goldman, he's an upgrade over Sheldon Day. That's how I view him, right? That one of those guys coming off the bench, and he's an upgrade over. Now, again, I said this on my show with Eddie Goldman. Until Eddie is on the roster come September, whatever day one of the season is,
I'll believe it then.
I'll believe it then because Eddie's quit twice. Okay,
yeah, he's left the sport twice. I keep telling people like we don't have to act like this guy's on the roster,
right? Like until we actually have confirmation that Eddie's locked in for the 2025 season, I'm just gonna see what happens, right? I'm just gonna go with the flow with Eddie, but he's an upgrade over Sheldon Day, right? Javon Kinlaw is gonna be interesting because I think, as Rico said, they're going to play him on the edge a little bit. They're going to play him inside. They're going to move him around a little bit. But when you look at the defensive line, it's probably going to look like this. Dorrance Armstrong, Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, Dietrich Wise. That's probably going to be your starting four right there. All right. That doesn't get you overly excited, but you're not running the ball, at least on the interior of that defensive line. Now, the question is, are we going to do a better job of getting to the football on the edges of the defense? Wise is going to help you with that. So will Javon Kinlaw if he's playing at defensive end. Those backers got to get there. I think we're going to have a little bit more speed because I think you're going to see Jordan McGee out there a little bit more. I think Dominique Hampton's going to have to step up because I think now part of them moving on from Jeremy Chin means an expanded role for a guy potentially like Dominique Hampton who can play that similar role underneath in coverage to a Jeremy Chin. Same thing with Will Harris. He's going to come in, give you some of that. I actually think that Will Harris is an upgrade over Jeremy Chin from a pass defense standpoint. We'll see what he does as a run defender, but I don't know if you guys are aware, but Jeremy Chin, and a lot of you, I think, know this, but Jeremy Chin was not good against the pass last year.
At all.
You know, I don't think a lot of people realize he gave up 7 touchdowns last year.
Oh, that's a great point. I was gonna say this when we started to talk about the Commanders log the team dropped. Every time you see us getting scored on, you see number 11 around. If it ain't number 11, it's number 1. It feel like Noah Igbenogany and Jeremy Chin gave up every touchdown for us last year.
And I'm gonna defend Noah, right? Because we brought Noah in here not knowing what we were getting and not knowing what his role would be.
And he was a lot of them.
We thrusted his. By the time we got to the end of the season, Noah Igbenogany was playing over 90% of the snaps every week, right? So I thought he held up well under the circumstances of playing outside, playing inside, and then finally finding a home inside. We don't survive last year without Noah Igbenogany.
Nope.
And I kind of look at Jonathan Jones as a similar type player to Noah Igbenogany, right? Versatile, can play inside, can play outside, will come up and hit you. Jonathan Jones. So this is what we've been told about him. He is a tremendous leader, right? A guy that is well respected within that Patriots locker room. And whatever they asked him to do, he did it, and he did it well, right? Those are the types of vibes I'm getting. It's giving me a lot of last year's, we trying to build the culture. I'm at the point now where I get you want to sustain culture, and when you're moving guys around, right? Like we are, when you're moving pieces around so often, you want to make sure that your culture stays intact, and you need guys like potentially a Jonathan Jones to help you do that. I'm past the point, though. I felt like we established what a commander looks like. We established the vibe in the building last year, and you brought guys like Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz. You already have guys like Terry McLaurin and Austin Eckler already in that building that understand what we are doing here. So I'm not interested in your culture builder. That was last year, right? I was interested in the guys that are going to help you build the culture last year. You've done that successfully. Can he play? Is the question I have. He's a great human being. He's a great locker room guy, but can he play? We talking about a 5'9", 185-pound, 9th year in the league, corner? Can he play is my question. If the answer is yes, I'm all for it, right? I'm all about it. But I'm not interested in the guys that, like Cleveland Farrell was strictly brought here last year because he's a good guy. Good leader, right? Guy that he does it the right. I remember when Mike Mayock drafted him. And remember, he was
in the top 5.
Top 5 pick. He was drafted 4th overall. And he told Raiders fans before the draft, hey, this one's gonna throw y'all off a little bit, right? He knew what it was gonna meet, backlash. But he said, I listened to him talk on a podcast like 6 years later after he got fired and whatnot. And he said, we drafted Cleveland Farrell because we knew we were trying to set the tone. That was our first draft. He was our first draft pick. We were trying to set the tone with a locker room guy that was going to set the standard for what we were looking for as I think they were still Oakland Raider then, right? That's what Cleveland Farrell was brought here for last year, right? Another guy that set the tone, good guy, works hard, all that good stuff. I don't need Cleveland Farrell back.
Hey, that character shit don't be showing up on Sundays, man.
At all, right?
It
don't show up at all on Sunday. That's some Monday through Saturday shit. That's cool.
They act like he gives a +3 boost to everybody's stats by being on the field.
Right. This ain't a video game, right? Like, I'm cool with Jonathan Jones if he can still ball. But I looked at his stats, and again, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm watching Jonathan Jones film. I just looked at the stats. He had his worst season of his career last year. So I'm not interested. Guy gave up 7 touchdowns last year through the air. He gave up the quarterbacks targeting him. I think I had 128 passer rating, right? He was 60 attempts on him, 48 completions, over 70% completion percentage on his head. So again, I'm not interested in your rah-rah, great locker room.
That's not a starter at this point.
Well, I didn't see him as such, right? I looked at him as a Noah Igbenogany, right? A guy you bring in as depth, and we'll see. And I told everybody this because I was live when that signing happened.
Me too.
I was live when that signing happened. And I told everybody, I said, remember last year, we signed a bunch of corners. We had Chigozie Anuzium as an undrafted rookie, right? We signed James Pierre. James Pierre did not make the roster, right? So this could be another one of those situations where you got 6, 7 dudes going to camp as legitimate guys that can make the roster, but they're only keeping 5 corners more likely than not. And Jonathan Jones may not be one of those corners. As of right now,
he is
going to be one of those corners.
We
don't have any corners on the roster right now. So these are some of the questions you have to ask yourself. Did you just upgrade the roster, right? And with most of these transactions, the answer is yes. Laramie Tunsil upgrades the roster. Deebo Samuel upgrades the roster. Dietrich Wise upgrades the roster. Will Harris to be TBD, right? We'll see. Javon Kinlaw upgrades the roster, right? Because even if you don't think he's better than Jonathan Allen, he's probably better than Johnny Newton at this point. He's probably better. I know he's better than Sheldon Day. He's better than Carl Davis, right? So even if you don't think he's better than Jonathan Allen, it's either a net gain or it breaks even, right? So he didn't make this roster worse. So when you look at what they're doing, just look at what we had a season ago. And I'm telling you, that's a pretty low bar. I know. But we got to take baby steps. This is the problem when you win how we won last year is that unrealistic expectations get placed on you. And I like how Adam Peters is going about it from this standpoint. You can't chase a Super Bowl because the Texans literally did it. And you see what they're doing now. They're breaking the shit down, right? They went and chased the Super Bowl last year. It didn't work. And now they're breaking the shit down already. And that's not what I want to do. I don't want to turn around next year and be mortgaging off pieces and getting rid of guys and trying to
moving like the Niners.
I mean, it's crazy. You would think they went to 2 Super Bowls and lost, like the Niners did. They breaking the shit down, and they just started last year trying to win a Super Bowl. So I'm not trying to be in that position, but I also don't want a team full of 30-somethings, right? So there needs to be some kind of balance here, and that's why I want to see how he goes about the draft. We're going to talk about that tomorrow night on the show, but we can also get into it tonight because I think Rio has said some things that I think you and me are kind of sharing the same wavelength as to how we see the draft coming up. But when you guys look at what has transpired right now, some of the conversation has been, have we closed the gap on the Eagles, right? And I know that you've looked around at what some of the other teams around the league are doing, and you see where some of the guys are ending up, and you see some of the money that some of these guys have gotten. Has there been 1 or 2 signings where you get, we couldn't have done that for that money? We couldn't have done that. Is there any guy or 2 that you looked at and said, damn, I wanted him, and that didn't cost a lot?
Yeah, there've been a few. That safety market the safety market, the corners, like even a guy like I didn't want Josh Sweat, and Josh Sweat got less than what I thought. I think a lot of guys got Milton Williams feels like one of Milton Williams, Charvarius Ward. There's like a couple people that benefited from this free agency, but a lot of guys got considerably less money than they expected to get coming into this. And I have to feel like they think that they're going to get some impact player. It feels like we're going to be starting hella young players here because we're not signing young guys. And there's been young guys available and their prices haven't been too
I want you to
crazy.
explain that to me. Why do you think, because you said that's the second time you said that, and I don't agree with that. Why do you think we're going to be starting a bunch of young players this season?
Because we're not adding any youth to the roster. Like it feels like
that's the point, though.
No. But I feel like some of the young guys on I feel like we're gonna lean on some of the guys that didn't do shit for us last year from our draft class, the injured guys, the McGee's, the Hamptons of the world, a bigger role for Sennett, maybe a bigger role for Luke McCaffrey. I don't know how, but and they're banking on hitting on some of these draft picks we're gonna get because. Like we're getting old. We're getting old as shit. And I don't think we were a young team in theory last year, but we weren't that young.
No.
And it feel like we're getting older right now. Right. And that's not exactly the destination you want to go. But there's a difference between Laramie Tunsil old and some of these dudes we signing old.
Right. So this is my counter argument to that is they're signing these dudes for a reason. And I think what they ultimately if you do it right, when you draft young players, they should not have to come in and be relied upon for production immediately, right? If you do it correctly. Your first round pick is a guy that you do expect to come in and play right away. But your second round pick, and the times have changed, second round picks you expect come in and help you immediately as well. But it doesn't necessarily have to be in a starting capacity. We always did. The low-hanging fruit, the one that we always go back to is Cam Jurgens with the Eagles. That was a second-round pick, right? And you see it around the league all the time where you draft guys and they have a role on your team, but they're not starting. They're not the guy that you're depending on. You're hoping that guy's ready to go in year two. That's why you have veterans in front of them. So case in point, last year's draft. Let's just look at our draft from last year. They drafted Johnny
Newton. Johnny Newton
is one of them. Jordan McGee, who's I was trying to think of, but okay. Johnny McGee, we can start there with Johnny Newton, right? They drafted him not to start last year. They drafted him because they knew they were probably going to move on from Jonathan Allen, more likely than not, right? They saw the future. They understood that there was an opportunity to save some money under the cap with Allen. If he didn't have a massive season, they were going to move on, and they did, right? So Newton was supposed to be ready to slide in. He didn't. I think we talked about this on the program already. He didn't show us that he was ready to start last year. He looks like a rotational depth guy at this point. He's going to have to prove to us that he's a starting caliber defensive tackle in this league, right? So the thought process behind drafting him was he should be ready to start next year. Not start this year, but start next year, right? So we're at next year. He's not ready to start. That's what the Javon Kinlaw signing says to me is he's not ready to start. We'll see if they decide to play Kinlaw primarily outside or if they play him inside. I think they're going to play him inside. So Jordan McGee, another guy that they drafted, he wasn't supposed to start last year, right? He was supposed to be starting this year, but he got injured. He wasn't able to play. And because they didn't see enough from him to be able to turn the reins over to him, they had to bring back Bobby Wagner again, right? If he stays healthy and shows them what they're looking for, even if Bobby Wagner does the exact same thing he just did this season, which is all pro, they're moving on to Jordan McGee. So when I say that these young guys that they're going to draft, I don't think they envision them having to come in and play right away. They envision them coming in, learning what it means to be a commander, learning what the ropes look like in the NFL, and then in their second year, now I'm ready. And I know he got shot, so this isn't a great example, but if you look at the 49ers with Ricky Pearsall, right? They kept all those receivers for a reason. Why? Because they didn't want to put all that on Ricky Pearsall's plate, right? They wanted him to see what it was like, learn the offense, and in year two, we're going to count on you. You better be ready because we moving on from Debo. They actively trying to trade Brandon Ayuk, right? And so they've already said, Ricky, you got to step up. And so that's, I think, when I think about Adam Peters and the way that they want to go about their business, that's kind of how they want to operate. So I don't see a lot of young guys like starting. They could play, they could be on the field, but I don't see them in starting capacity.
And I just feel like last year the difference was it was guys like Wagner and Ertz and stuff. Some of these guys we're signing, they not that. So
Right. No,
if
facts.
that's what's keeping some younger players off the field, it's just kind of confusing. You would think there would be a little bit more activity if that was the case, because I don't know. It feels like the Adam Peters knows what he's doing, but it feels like it's confusing how we're going about the team building.
So this is what I brought up, and I want to get to Ed and Rico and hear you guys' thoughts on this. I went through the roster earlier today because there's this thought process, there's this mindset because of all the stuff that we've done and all the holes that we perceive to have going in to the offseason, that we still need a whole bunch of stuff. And while we still do need a number of items, it's not as dire as you think. So let's go on the offensive side of football, right? With the Laramie Tunsil trade, you've effectively fixed two positions with one move, right? So we actually don't know where Brandon Coleman is going, but wherever he goes, he's going to be an upgrade over the guy that's currently there, whether it's left guard with Allegretti or it's right tackle with Andrew Wiley, right? So you know what the offensive line is. We don't really need to go through that right now because we only got one, spot that's open, and that's right guard, and that's open temporarily until Cosme's ready to come back. So quarterback, we know what we have, and I think Mariota coming back was a surprise. I don't think any of us expected him back. Did you guys think he was going to be back?
I guess after the dominoes fell, like Geno getting traded and then Justin Fields going to the Jets and Darnold going to where he went, I think like all the dominoes fell for the starting position. So it made sense for him to come back.
I thought he was gone. I didn't think and like you said, Ed, dominoes did fall in a way that allowed him to come back. But I just thought he might try to go somewhere where he may have a chance to start. There's no chance, and he knows that here. But I think that speaks to our culture too, right? That he wanted to come back here, and Cliff wanted to come back here, and Ertz told his agent, don't even talk to me about nowhere else. I want to come back here, right?
Beautiful.
It is. It's a beautiful thing, knowing where we came from. So, okay, so got your quarterback situation squared away. Running back. They brought back Jeremy McNichols. I don't know if I saw that coming. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah,
a lot of us
is tricky to me.
A lot of us turned on Jeremy McNichols when he fumbled in the NFC Championship game. I'm not gonna hold you.
Rightfully so.
I turned on his ass. I ain't even gonna front. I felt bad about it afterwards, but in the moment, I was so hot.
I'm like, still there.
What is he even doing back there? Right? Why is he touching the ball? Like, hey, but McNichols is back. Chris Rodriguez is back, right? So, and you already have Eckler and B-Rob on the roster. So a lot of people are like, wait. Y'all not running it back like y'all running it back with the tight end position, are y'all?
They better not.
The answer is no. Trust me, they're still going to draft a running back, okay? You do not have to worry. This is the thing that Adam Peters has shown me, right? Because I was a little skeptical going into the offseason, like, I'm going to see what Adam Peters really on. He's paying attention to what the hell's going on. Right, because we all said, "Hey, you can't leave the offensive line the way it is, bro. Like Brandon Coleman is not it at left tackle." He's like, "Duh, bro, I get it." Right? We said, "Yo, we gotta fix this run defense." He was like, "Duh, bro, I get it." Like those are the two biggest things that we said going into the offseason we gotta fix. We like you, bro. We gotta get Terry a guy opposite of him. We gotta get a number 2 option. He was like, "Bro, you don't think I see this?" He's done all of that, right? So. He got to understand that we need some explosiveness in the backfield. He's going to get that done, right?
Yes.
So that's a draft thing, though. That's not a free agent thing, okay? So you look at the tight end position. We running it back.
Yep.
I think we all agree that we running that back, right?
Yep. Those 3 and Yanko off. Yep.
We're running it back.
That's it for that. That's it for that,
right? Like, I know y'all saw Evan Ingram sign with the Broncos, and I said, well, damn, in every mock draft, that's where Colston Loveland comes off the board. He could be there at 29 now. I doubt it, because if I'm the Chargers, I'm taking Colston Loveland. If you're running a Greg Roman scheme, you need a beast at tight end. I'm taking Colston Loveland, but we'll see what they decide to do. But if he's there at 29, would y'all entertain taking him? I know it's a sidebar conversation, but Would y'all think about taking him at 29? I mean, Ertz is only here for one more year.
Yeah,
I would. That would probably be best player available. I don't care what we need more. That guy is
all
different.
I care about, Rico. If we not getting out of 29, I don't
talent.
give a damn. As long as it ain't a quarterback, I'm taking the best, literally the best player available. It could be a guard. It could be a center. It could be a tack. I don't give a shit what it is. BPA. As long as it ain't a quarterback.
I mean, Jaden Daniels only 24 years old, so you can't think in terms of like this year only. You know what I'm saying? You got to build a young core with elite players. And I promise you, if he makes it that far, people are going to be very happy 3 years from now that we took him rather than reaching for another position that we may have a bigger need for. Okay. And also, just to go back to y'all discussion earlier, I feel like the best way to look at the veteran signings that we're bringing in, they're the floor. The draft picks you hope are the ceiling. Like you hope, and you know that if one of these draft picks is starting, that means they really earned it. Because you know, with these veteran signings that we're doing in free agency, these moves that we've made,
that's a good point.
We don't have any more like holes. There are a lot of positions we still hope to upgrade, but we don't have any like big glaring weaknesses. If a rookie comes in after we draft them and they're getting significant minutes of starting, you know that they earned it over one of these veteran guys that we know for at the very least come with a certain floor and can play. So I feel like that's the best way to look at it. The draft picks are the ceiling. These veteran 31-year-olds people are calling unks are the floor.
That's wild work, bro.
It's blue chip. But we need blue chippers on the team. Like when I talk about Laramie Tunsil, like I tweeted like Larry Tunsil is the best football player on the team, possibly after the quarterback. Like he's accomplished.
I would argue. Oh,
he's a great player. I was like, for those who speak Maddenese, you know, who got the highest overall on the team?
It's probably Larry Tunsil.
Larry Tunsil like a 95 on Madden, bro. Like if that's the type of example you need. So when people hear you say, I'm still taking a Loveland if he was there at 29. We can't take edge 8 just because we got a needed edge if we're there at 29. You take the best player available, and we got to delusionally stop thinking that we can out-roster Philly in year 2 when they're like on year 6 of a rebuild.
Yeah, back to the elderly talk too. So Wise is going to start a defensive end. Kinlaw going to start a DT. We got a backup DT that retired. He took a year off, then retired again. Then we brought a guy in for a workout that retired.
Yeah. We got to stop that. First of all, we got to stop bringing in dudes that quit football before.
Martavis Bryant. You know, so Gallup's the Martavis Bryant of the year. And I'm surprised Gallup hasn't been signed yet. I think they're going to wait on. They're probably going to sign him around like July, August.
Don't be surprised. He didn't play football. Like he stopped. He's not playing.
He's a Dan Quinn guy, so that's the only reason why. That's why I'm giving it legs. Yeah, that's why they brought him in. Because
I mean, it's the same thing. You literally hit it on the head. It's literally Martavis Bryant all over again.
Yeah. So I like Gallup.
Yeah,
I like Gallup, but I feel like, of course, there's better options. I mean, OZ, we'll see what they do with him. Noah Brown is still out there too, so I am intrigued to see what they do with those guys.
Yeah. Noah
Brown, if he is healthy, he's a guy I would like to see back on a good deal because he was on pace for 600, 700 yards, which would definitely help, and he'll be in the better role of being the fourth option. But yeah, so I think we got a good mix. But yeah, we do have a lot of guys that are 30, 31. We got a couple guys like Debo's from the same draft class as Terry, so he's around that age too. But we got a good mix of guys. Zach Ertz still 30, 35. So, but we'll see. Like the draft picks, I think the running back that we get is definitely going to start or get a lot of snaps. I do think we drafted a defensive end, so he'll get a lot of snaps in the rotation. So running back, DE, and cornerback, because we got to draft a cornerback.
I'm gonna revisit that because last week I asked you guys what were your top 3. Position.
Oh yeah, we got to redo
that now because we've had free agency now, kind of see where we are. So to continue to go through the roster, right? So, receiver, right? You've got 3 guys under contract right now, in Terry McLaurin, Debo Samuel, and Luke McCaffrey, right? The assumption is they're bringing back at least 2 of 3 guys: Olamide Zaccheaus, Noah Brown.
Why we got to do 2? Why we got to do 2 of those 3? Why we got to do 2?
I'm telling you, they're bringing back. Look, you gotta hope it's not all 3 of their asses. Okay.
Oh my God! Please stop. You got to stop that. You got no, Lou.
I've heard of all 3 of them being brought back.
Oh, okay, they gotta stop that shit.
So I'm just telling you, you better hope it's just 2 out of the 3. I'm going off of the assumption that it would be OZ and Noah Brown. right?
Mhm.
And I'm all for both of those guys. And then you have a spot for a rookie or a veteran. The fact that they brought in Michael Gallup for a visit shows you that they're interested in at least a veteran option at wide receiver. So we'll
I have
see.
I have a guy. Let's all throw out a guy that we think that we could add outside of the building. I have a guy for us. I have a guy for it. He doesn't come with size. He doesn't come with 6'5"ness, but look,
Oh, you already talking
we're not
about bad quarterback guy.
listen. Instead of OZ and Jamison Crowder, give
Here we
me
go.
Elijah Moore.
Yep.
Elijah
Quarterback
Moore
Okay.
is the. I want to put out something.
You were scaring me at first.
He
Okay.
never has played with a good quarterback before. He runs a 4.3. He's sure-handed. He's only missed like 5 games in his 4-year career, and he's the same age as Jaden Daniels. He's the same. He's played for 4 years, and it's the same age as our quarterback right now. That is your best bang for your buck you're going to find on this market right now. Fast, complete upgrade in the slot. He's played for a bunch of trash cans at quarterback and actually has 2,200 yards of production, unlike Diami, who had 700. That is a guy you bring in this room instead of bringing back 3 of those guys, man. Give me Elijah Moore.
I
man.
agree. He was on my list of, I had 3 receivers that I termed young guys, I think. Let me look at my list of free agents. So young upside is what I called it. It was Elijah Moore at 24, Tutu Atwell. You know, I was a Tutu Atwell guy, 25, and Josh Palmer was 25, is 25 years old. That was my young upside signings at wide receiver. He's still out there. I don't know what, I'm actually shocked that Elijah Moore, is still available. Josh Palmer,
injury history or nothing.
Nothing. I don't understand like what the stigma surrounding him is, because at worst, you give him a 1-year, $5 million deal, and you just say, all right, let's see what you got. Right.
Exactly.
Like, I'm shocked no one has done that yet. No one sees the upside of doing that with him yet. And that eventually it will happen. He will end up somewhere, but we're seeing all kinds of guys get signed before he does. It's kind of baffling actually as to why he still hasn't found a home yet. But
he's 24. And he's fast as hell. He's like a 4.35 guy.
I loved him coming out of Ole Miss.
Same.
I loved him coming out of Ole Miss. So I said all of that to say on the offensive side, there are not a lot of openings, right, for starters. Like, we pretty much know who's going to be out on the field right now. Sands for wide receiver and whoever's taking over at guard for Sam Cosmi right now, right? So then you go on the defensive side. And this is the part that's really interesting, because you're thinking, man, we need a lot over here, but excuse me, a lot of the positions are already spoken for. So you start on the defensive line. You got Dorrance Armstrong, that's a starter. You got Deron Payne, that's a starter. Javon Kinlaw is probably going to start, and I'm thinking Dietrich Wise is going to start, right? So those are your starters. And again, you could upgrade Dietrich Wise, but the likelihood is he's your starter unless you draft a guy in the first round that you expect to start right away. I don't see that happening, not at defensive end. But you go to linebacker, you already know what it is. It's Frankie Louvu, it's Bobby Wagner, right? Those are your 2 starters there, okay? You go to the secondary, and if you want to add in another linebacker, it'd probably be Jordan McGee if they were going to go that route. But they played a lot of 4-2-5 last year with 3 safeties on the field, or 3 corners and 2 safeties on the field. So you got Marshawn Lattimore, right? You got Quan Martin as we go across the umbrella. You have Will Harris. You have Mikey Saberstill. And now you're just missing a corner. And that's it. So when you say a bunch of young guys are playing, I don't know if I necessarily see that, because most of the starting spots are spoken for now. Will they be platooning guys in and out of the lineup? Sure, but it's still going to be some 30-somethings in there. You're still going to get some Eddie Goldman, right? You're still going to get potentially some Jonathan Jones on the field, right? Like, there's still going to be some of these 30-somethings rolling in there and getting some reps. So we'll see if those young guys can penetrate the lineup and get real meaningful snaps. Because last year, in that first year, you knew young guys were going to have to play. Yep. But as the season wore on, like, we started out, remember, Luke McCaffrey started week 1 last year against Tampa.
Sure did.
By the time we got to week 4, you couldn't find Luke McCaffrey on the field. Okay, that man went from like 40-something snaps in week 1 to like half of that in week 2 to a third of that in week 3, and then he was a ghost. Once Noah Brown got acclimated,
once he learned the offense, he was out of here.
So, and they phased out Ben Sinnott by the time we got to the end of the season. So, I want to see what they do with these young boys, man. I want to see what they do with them. But as we continue on, what for you guys is the biggest need for this team? And do you have a solution in mind right now for that position? I'll start with you, Rico. What's the biggest need on this team right now? And if whatever that is for you, do you have a solution?
I mean, right now, I feel like if I had to narrow it down to one need, and I was slightly leaning towards home run hitter running back, that would probably be like a close second. But number one is a game changing when we need it at the most in a game. Pass rushing edge rusher, man, that can like literally, we need that type of guy, man. We have a guy that we've talked about it all last season. When Jaden Daniels has the ball last, we're going to win the game. Yep. When our defense is on the field last, we're done. We got to get lucky like in that Saints game, basically. And so if we can get that one true dominant pass rushing edge where when we need to make a play, he will make a play. I feel like that's our biggest specific need right there. I feel like there's a few other needs, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get into like the draft and what our biggest needs may be pertaining to that specifically. I mean, it would be nice to trade for Trey Hendrickson, but I mean, I really don't have a solution for this because they're talking about a first round pick now today, and even if we were to give up a second round pick, and even the second round pick that was reported a few days ago, like you're gonna have to trade them that. Plus give them after the Max Crosby contract, more than likely like 35, 36 million a year instead of like the 30 that you probably could have gotten them for like last week or something like that. So I really don't have a solution for edge right now. I'm just really hoping and praying that one of those elite edge rusher talents fall in the draft due to whatever red flag. Michael Williams, lack of production, injuries. Jalen Walker, being a tweener, the he's hurt right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to speak all of this into existence, but I highly doubt it. Mike Green, because of the lack of competition, maybe people will say. James Pierce, the character concerns. I feel like we need one of those type of guys to fall.
James Pierce,
we gotta get lucky. We gotta get lucky. We got somebody like that.
So before I'm gonna go to you, Ed, next, but before we do that, I want to run this around the panel quick. Dante Fowler Jr., man, how y'all feeling about him? I feel some type of way about this. We got to get him back, bro.
We got to sign him back. I agree. I don't even got to expound on it. At this point, we got to bring him back. Run it back, Dante.
Coming back though. After those tweets, coming back.
We were complaining about setting the edge from stopping the run, but Dante Fowler had double-digit sacks last season.
He's a situational pass rusher. He's not supposed to be stopping the run. It was because Cleveland Farrell couldn't stay healthy and stay on the field and be productive in that regard that he even had to be on the field that much. The man got 11 sacks last year.
Is he going to take situational rusher money though?
Well, Malcolm Kuntz just got $12 million, and he's not Dante Fowler Jr., bro. So
that's scary.
I want to know what he's asking for because he can't be asking for much more than that. Like, I think it's got to be in that 10 to 12 range, and they was thinking more like because they paid him nothing last year to come here, nothing.
The tweet said other guys on the team, right? So Dorrance is getting 15. I know we just saw DeMarcus Lawrence get 15. I was surprised by that because he was
3 years.
DQ has to use the relationship card. Brian, I've been with you your whole career. I've been with you for a couple teams in a row, 3 teams in a row. Dante, sit down, man. Come over to the crib, have some wine, man.
I just think it's funny though that we went from we could rush the passer, we couldn't stop the run. Now we can stop the run, but can't rush the passer. Like we need Dante Fowler back bad. Like we became desperate suddenly.
You know how many people I done seen? He wants too much money. You don't even know what he wants.
We don't know what he wants.
You don't know what he wants. He wants too much. Forget about him. He can't stop the run anyway.
I also don't care about tweets.
Run stopper.
I don't care about tweets either. Like it was funny. It was funny. It was a fun topic to talk about. But bro, come back, man. Come
on back. Pen and paper, he gonna go out there and do what he got to do, man.
At the end of the day, I'm with you, Rio. I said the same thing. I'm like, that's why we all just assumed he'd be back, right? Because that's Dan's boy, right? He's not leaving Dan, right?
That's his life. That's his football soulmate right there.
He's not going anywhere. But
3 teams, man.
Bro, we need Dante Fowler Jr. Y'all better stop playing. We need Dante Fowler Jr., bro. That's 11 sacks. We have nobody. Think about this. We have nobody
capable of it.
There's no Dante. We have all you got is Frankie Louisville.
Yep.
You got nobody. Like Dorrance is cool. Dorrance is gonna get you 8. Dorrance is getting you 6 to 8 sacks. That's his number. He's not going any higher than that.
And like, after him is Dietrich Wise. Like
Dietrich Wise. Ooh, Dietrich Wise.
After
y'all
him
better stop y'all foolishness and pick up. They better pick up the phone and be like, "Come on, Dante, man."
I think we let enough guys walk. I think this is the one that should stay because this is the one.
The buck stops here.
He's the closest to like a game changer out of all the guys we're letting go. 11 sacks, fam. We never saw Chase or Sweat get 10 sacks on this football team.
11.
Just to let you know, Dante Fowler. Pick 6 too. Thank you, Lou. 11 sacks. Frankie Louvu 8. Then it's Dorrance Armstrong 5, Deron Payne 4, Cleveland Farrell 3.5. It's ugly.
Y'all better wash your face and get your mind right. All right. Ed, biggest need on this team is what? And do you have a solution?
So yeah, Rico took edge. I'm gonna go a corner, man, because I do like John Jones, but he did have a down year. And looking at the corner list, I know we would have to pay. Charvarius got what, 20 million a year? I'm looking at it right now. He got the 3 years.
360.
So I do feel like one of the corners you probably should have spent a bag. Carlton Davis had a good year last year. You missed out on him. DJ Reed, 3 years, 48 mil. I mean, you get addition by subtraction by Ben St. Juice leaving, but you still need corner. Noah Ice still out there, so you just even the depth part of it, you need more corners. And honestly, Marshawn to me is still a question mark. Like I like the trade, but he's still a question mark. The jury's still out. Like I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but it was very up and down. When it was down, when it was bad, it was bad. When it was good, it was good. There were some games where he struggled. Mike Evans, AJ Brown struggled those games. There's some games where the Lions game he was good, the Saints game he was fine. But man, like Jonathan Jones. I'm just a little concerned. Of course, I'm scarred from the signings last year, like Michael Davis and guys like that we throw out there. So I just need to see more attacking the cornerback position. I just need to see more from it. So that's why I'm concerned because it was such a struggle last year from what we saw. I do think Jonathan Jones, of course, is an upgrade from what we had. But once again, he had a down year last year. 2023 was good, but last year was a struggle. So we need cornerback bad. You know, you got the Eagles, you got to play against AJ Brown, Devontae. You got Malik Neighbors. You got CeeDee Lamb. So and then you got a tough schedule this year with a lot of good wide receivers. So cornerback in the draft for sure, and then free agency, just some depth signings are going to help for sure. I know they brought back Kayvon Seymour, but you know he's not going to do much. And then you got Bobby Price on the roster, so it's a lot of space at that cornerback spot.
Goddamn Kayvon Seymour, man.
They like him a lot.
Oh, man, they love Kayvon. That man got suspended and they saved the roster spot for him, man.
He's probably a culture guy. He's probably another good culture. He's a Cleveland Farrell of cornerbacks of the practice squad. Oh, man. I like both of y'all's answer so far. And as much as I want to say corner is the biggest need on the roster, I think Marshawn is still a good cornerback, and I think he needs a full spring and summer with the team. And I think Mikey can be one of the best inside corners in the league and could be a really good one on the outside. So having 2/3 of the room completed has to make edge like we're shopping at Temu for edge rushers, bro. Like we're shopping at Sheen.com at the edge.
Not Sheen, bro.
We don't have any designer. Like we don't even got Polo. We don't got Polo outlet at Potomac Mills on the edge right now.
You on the horse? You on the horse with the stick?
Oh my God! You got Assassin. We got Assassin on the edge right now. If you know about Assassin, It's association.
Boy.
Shout out
We
to Assassin,
we called
bro.
it
Logo
Assassin for
extra
whatever
big.
reason.
Logo
Shout out-
taking up half the shirt.
Shout out to Assassin, baby. We in the building.
Logo
We
taking
have-
up your whole chest.
We got Polo Assassin on the edge because we don't even have Fowler on the roster right now. It's Dorrance Armstrong and Javante Jean-Baptiste, bruh. That is not even the assassin at the Polo outlet. That's the assassin. That's the assassin at TJ Maxx. That's the Ross. That's the Ross.
It's the
That's that $12.99 assassin polo that looks like 20 people have worn it and the logo faded. We don't have it in that room.
That neck
right now.
hanging on for dear life, boy. That collar hanging on for
loose
Like,
neck.
Dietrich Wise and Dorrance Armstrong are starting edges right now. That's not gonna get it. That's not enough. What Kendrick says, it's not enough.
Not enough. It's not enough.
It's not enough, man. We need more in that room. Like we've made so many trades this offseason that the Hendrickson shit is pretty much off the board because we didn't have enough. Like you could trade back and make picks happen after you do so, but I think we've made enough trade. We've traded 8 picks. We've traded 8 picks since the trade deadline. I'm not sure you could make another trade of that magnitude. And Cincinnati, they just figured out how trades and stuff work. They run a very archaic building over there. They're now asking for a first-round pick. We got to give up a first-round pick and give a market deal to Trey Hendrickson when the whole league knows you have to trade him. That's not mathing right for me. That's not. You know what would be beautiful? If they just had to cut him. If they had no choice but to release him. That's not going to happen.
I'm about to say, you know who you talk about?
Yeah. Someone's giving up. That's the sack master in the NFL right now. Someone's giving up something. Nobody's giving them a first-round pick, and if you do, you're stupid. You're stupid. You forced them to be a day 2 type guy, but we don't have a player like that on the roster, guys. We don't have a double-digit sack guy. We don't have a, like Rico said, it's a big third down situation. We got to get Jaden Daniels the football back. Remember that drive where we had to play against the Steelers where we just needed the ball one more time at the end and we could have did more magic that year. We don't have a guy. The closest guy that we have to that is Dante Fowler Jr. We don't have him anymore. We don't have him at the moment. So, yeah, it's edge for me. It's edge, and where we're picking, we're not promised to get one of those, but it's edge. It's edge by far. We need some good clothing at that position, man. It's all budget. It's all budget shopping.
Hey, he's just trying to keep us warm through the winter right now, man. He don't care about logos or none of that stuff, man. Look, y'all hit it on the head. Those are the 2 positions. There's no other position that you really are that nervous about right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's edge rusher, it's corner. And again, I'm not as worried because I still think there are veterans. I mean, I said that and they went out and signed Dietrich Wise. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm curious because we weren't a great pass rushing team last year either. And I want to know, even if you can stop the run now, how are you getting off the field on 3rd and 7? Because you still got to find a way to affect the quarterback. And if you don't feel confident enough to blitz, I don't see one guy on this defensive line right now that can win one-on-one matchups and get to the quarterback. And so, again, you can't fix everything in one offseason. I'm fully aware of that. And so you give and you take, and if you want to stop the run, look, I'd rather be able to stop the run and have to figure out how to stop the pass than the other way around. Because anything can happen when you put the ball in the air. It can get batted in the air. A guy can, the quarterback can overthrow it, go right to the safety like it did in the Lions game with Jared Goff. When you handed it off, it's a low risk that something goes awry, right? It's just tough knowing that right now the 2 positions, and they go hand in hand, is the chicken, or the egg theory. Which one comes first? I don't know if we have either right now, right? Edge or corner. So that's the interesting thing, which leads us seamlessly right into our next conversation, the draft. We talked about last week what our 3 top needs were heading into the draft. And I said we would revisit this after free agency because, obviously we all said at the time, well, we want to see what they do in free agency first because it could change the needs, right? So I'm gonna start. So Rico, you had edge, running back, tight end. Rio, you had running back, edge, and defensive tackle. Ed, you had cornerback, defensive tackle, and running back. So I'm gonna start with you, Ed. You had cornerback as your number one need, defensive tackle as your second need, running back as your third need. I have a feeling that list is going to change drastically. Give me your list of 3 positions and put them in numerical order, 1 being the greatest need, 3 being the least of the 3.
Running back is the highest need to me. Well, actually, yeah. So it's tough. So changing now, I take DT out because I feel like we got our starters now. We just signed 2 defensive tackles, so that's shored up. So I'm still running back is still really important to me. So running back's in there, and we're not going to address that in free agency. I just don't see that happen. I don't think we're going to bring an outside guy. I don't think we're going to do that. So running back, corner, and edge. If I had to rank them, I would say I agree with you guys on edge. Edge is number 1. Number 2 for me is running back because I love B-Rob with a passion, but every team we go against, the running back that we play against is just better than him. And it's a major difference that you see on the field. And you need somebody like Jaden deserves better. He deserves better. And we need more explosiveness at the running back spot for sure. And a running back really should be thriving with Jaden as your quarterback. And then after that, for me, is corner, like I stated before. I like Jonathan Jones, but is he a legit starter in this league still is a question mark. I think he's starter level, but I think you can be better at that spot. But yeah, we need explosiveness at the running back spot. And there's so many running backs in this draft. Hampton, Caleb Johnson. I mean, there's so many a Tootin out of Virginia Tech. So you can get guys in the middle of the draft that would be upgrades over what we have right now. So I would say edge number 1, running back number 2, and then corner number 3.
Rico, you had edge, running back, and tight end as your 3 positions. What does it look like now, pseudo post free agency?
Yeah, edge is still my number 1. I'm probably gonna go corner. As number 2, because I just really felt like we was gonna come away with something. You know, I kind of went into my answer last time, so I think now that we haven't, and I'm excited about Jonathan Jones, but I'm not sure about him necessarily start. I would put corner at number 2, and then home run hitting running back. That will probably still be my number 3. And I think with the way that the draft will fall, I think we'll be able to achieve that. My concerns are corner and edge. I'm even thinking safety just off because I really want Nick Elwari or Malachi. Like I want that so bad. But if you're asking me like the biggest needs, I'm gonna still stick with edge rusher, corner, and running back. But with the way the draft may fall, don't be surprised if we take in safety in that first round. And I would be happy about it.
Yeah, because signing your boy doesn't preclude you from taking a safety
at all.
I don't think that stops you from taking a safety at all.
Nope. Especially for the money that we signed them for. It's not like we're signing these guys to double-digit million per year things. These guys are like max $6 million, $8 million contracts, $2 million cap hits in 2025 type of things.
I mean, you could keep him and cut Percy Butler, save $6 million in the process.
And Luke can't wait till we cut Percy.
I don't have any issues with Percy. I'm just saying, like, if like I ain't gonna hold you. I was watching. We're gonna talk about I know all of us have seen Commander's Log season 4, episode 1, right?
Phenomenal
masterpiece. We've all seen it, right?
Amazing.
And I love that they added in the bad plays too, like because normally they shield us from that, just give us all good stuff. And I'm still hot at Percy for missing that tackle in the first game against the Eagles on Saquon Barkley on that check down on like 3rd and 7. All you do is make the damn tackle, and they probably would have punted the ball, and the game might have turned out differently. But at the end of the day, I don't have anything against Percy, but if you can upgrade, he'd be the first dude out on the way out. So, Rio, what's your 3? Last week, it was running back, edge, and defensive tackle.
Edge is number 1.
Okay.
Cornerback is number 2. Easy. And I like some of these cornerbacks in this class that we got. we need something there because there's a giant hole opposite. Jonathan Jones, you're not starting, sir. You're starting until the draft finishes. So edge, cornerback, and I'm going running back number 3. I'm going number. If we don't get one of these backs in one of the best running back classes we've seen in a minute, I'm going to be very disappointed. I'm now off the we have to take one in the first 2 rounds because the way our picks is looking right now, I don't know if that's necessarily an option depending on who's on the board, but you better come out of this draft with a guy that we feel like can be the dynamic feature back of this offense. I would be very upset if we didn't. That's why people are panicking when they see that we re-up the whole room. And I'm like, y'all, wait on it, y'all. Y'all don't like Chris Rodriguez, he comes on and off the roster. He's like a temp agency running back. We need you sometime. Hey, we need you to get us through a month because B-Rob's banged up. B-Rob has real estate on the injury report. So and Jeremy McNichols is a reliable third running back, but ain't no way we're just running back that for the season. I don't believe it. And I'm not going to change my mind just because I see that. But it is a little scary for people like, we're not going to touch the roof.
Y'all going to be hurt if they just run that joint back. Y'all going to be hurt.
If we get through the whole class and they don't take one of them, I ain't going to lie, that's going to feel a little – okay, they really like B-Rob.
Even if they did that, they would take the first thing they would do would be like a priority free agent running back.
Undrafted free agent.
It's going to be like, for instance, the kid from Michigan. I think he might not get drafted.
Edwards.
Yep, Donovan Edwards. I think he might not get drafted, and so it'll be something like that they would do immediately.
I'm not mad at that at all. Donovan Edwards is hopefully somebody like Dylan Sampson or someone that just gets not drafted. And the running back class is that deep, but I'm putting that at 3rd. It probably should be receiver there. It should. Yeah. I think the top needs on the team in order. I think it's edge, corner, receiver, but I'm so pressed to get a running back.
Yeah, that's what it is for me. It's edge, corner, and then running back, wide receiver splits that 3rd slot.
Weapon is probably the 3rd answer.
Weapon.
If that's the case, then you take a Savion, right? Like if you're just looking for a weapon because he didn't actually have a position, but he wants to play wide receiver. At the end of the day, the way I look at how I feel like they want to do things is they want to draft that edge rusher. And you would hope at some point the baton gets passed to him somewhere through that rookie season. Like Dietrich Wise starts the beginning of the season, and then by the time we get to like week 8, that rookie is ready to start taking, like almost like what they did with Brandon Coleman last year, right? He was platooning with Cole Luke. Speaking of which, damn, I just brought that up. How y'all feel about losing Cole Luke, man?
Reliable, man. Reliable, man. He held it down and did his job here for a while. That one definitely it sting a little bit.
Yeah, he was here for 5 years. Shout out to him for getting that money going to the Browns. It was 2 years, 10 mil. So that's a good deal for him, man. Yep. But it's tough.
That one hurt, man. I ain't gonna hold you. That one, because think about it. Who is our swing tackle now? Like, none of us ever worried about nothing. If one of our tackles went down, just put Cole Luke in. Like
Trent
left,
Scott
right,
still on the roster.
Matter.
Trent Scott on the roster still because he's gonna have to be. He's not on the roster, is he?
Yeah, no, he's not. He's a free agent. But
shit.
And I prefer him at from what I saw last.
I'm about to say you don't want him at tackle. You're not okay with him playing left tackle and protecting Jaden's blind side. You're not even comfortable playing right tackle. We saw what happened when they put him in against Dallas last year. And then if Andrew Wiley is your swing tackle, are you comfortable with him at left tackle?
No, absolutely
you can't
not.
be.
Absolutely
right?
not.
So, like with Cole Luke, you were comfortable left or right. You were like, oh, we straight. Like Cole Luke gonna hold it down.
You would have to move Coleman to tackle and then figure out guard. That's the only way what we got going on right now.
Hey,
exactly.
Late round tackle. We need one of those. We need one of those. One of those big
freak athlete.
Rico found me my 7th round swing tackle. Rico,
got you. Probably gonna be Nigerian. I got you.
Hey.
The guy from Howard on the team.
That's right. You ain't lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the Code Talker says Trent Scott is a guard. Right, he's a guard.
Guard.
So yeah, it's edge. I'm hoping that similar to Brandon Coleman last year. You get one in the first round or whenever your first pick, whenever your first pick is, second round, first round, whatever that looks like. And he's ready to take over, middle of the season and be that guy there. Because a lot of times when edge rushers get selected, like Dallas Turner got selected in the first round last year, I don't think he started for the Minnesota Vikings. They had Grenard on one side and they had Andrew Van Ginkel on the other side, right? So, like when you see first round edge rushers, a lot of times they don't start on unless you're a top 5 guy, you don't start. You're normally coming off the bench and you're learning how to be a pro at the NFL level. So I'm hoping that's what they're, that falls into our lap. And then corner, same deal, right? Yeah. Actually, I would love it if they found like a Lassiter from Georgia last year that went to the Texans in the second round and started and was a beast.
Yo, that secondary is unreal.
I would love us to find a gem like that in the second round, but I'm not going to hold my breath. And then obviously running back, wide receiver.
To do that, you probably going to have to get like a really talented guy that got hurt, maybe like Siobhan, Revel or some, maybe if he makes like that far in the, because we do got to remember we're in the back end of the second round. Absolutely. We're not like early,
right? So, right. You're at 61. You mean
we're the third to last pick of the
round. Yeah, like you're way back there. So, all right. So, I had a thought. And I just lost my train.
I seen somebody say, "Do we want Kyle Juszczyk?" We got Kyle Juszczyk at home, man. His name is Ben Simmons.
Yeah, we got McDonald's at home, boy.
We got it at home. Man. We don't need it. You got McDonald's money.
You got McDonald's at home.
You got Kyle Juszczyk money.
Oh man, y'all are dumb, man. Devon Cash, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. What up, Devon? He says, "What's good again, Kings?" What's good, Devon?
What up?
He says, hope all y'all are doing well. Likewise, man. He says, I do want to say for one watch that Rio, he said that GOAT Rio, that man is man for pain. And also, Rio, I was on the boat for Westbrook for our teams.
And we fought on that. We fought on that island together, man.
I said, look, man, I told Rio because Rio was the one that broke the news. Really, our chat that we have, they be breaking news to me. A lot of times I don't know that we signed somebody. It be them telling me. Like Ed will be like, Ed, when Ed texts, he even texts monotone, right? Ed be like, we got Debo.
He said it was. There wasn't no emoji. There wasn't no exclamation point. So guys, we got Debo Samuel.
That's it. Like that's all Ed text, right? So even Ed's text is a monotone, right? So they be breaking news for me. And
no, I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw it, I'm embarrassed to say it. I thought he was talking about like Westbrook to like the Heat. Like,
yeah,
I was like, wait, why would that happen?
Me too.
Why that?
Oh, yeah, because I said Westbrook signed.
I didn't Westbrook to Miami.
He said Westbrook to Miami, right? I said,
like, why that?
I said,
okay.
The trade deadline over, though. How that happened, right? So I went on the joint because, if Westbrook got traded, I'm like, he's killing for Denver, though. Why would they do that, right? He's like third in the West right now. They killing it. So then I thought about it. I was like, oh, he's talking about Westbrook, and nobody cares about that dude. So nobody, none of the national media dudes even had it on their social media. Like I had to go to like Andrew Schultz or somebody like that to find out that he actually got signed. I was like, Rio, I'm so glad that I didn't have to threaten you with the physical, man. It was hands, man.
He got paid peanut too, bro.
Man, what, 2 for 6 or something like that?
Yeah, it was like 2 for 6.5, bro.
I mean, that's the same thing that happened to my boy Mike Jack. Got 2 for 14.5. I was like, bro, we couldn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. There was a whole lot of, I could have did that.
Right, man, we couldn't have done that. But nah, clearly they didn't want to, right? Optimal focus. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Kings. It's good. It's good, Optimal. I'm not worried about anybody Adam brings in. I'm gonna let my guy cook. Everybody losing it for nothing. Trust that man. Trust AP.
No, I'm really confused as to how people are already giving up on this man after he took us to an NFC championship
in year
we had
one.
To work with last year.
Year one.
How do we doubt? Like the national media is way higher on us than our own fan base is right now. I think it's just the Dan Snyder PTSD. It's got to be.
You got to get a name. That's what it is.
Exactly. Rio said it.
Yep.
Rio
That's
City.
Tarvarius. You got it. Javon. I think a lot of people were upset about Javon Holland. That's one guy that I saw people crashing out about.
Yeah.
It's activity too. Like it's the activity that gets fans excited on the opening day. Like, fam, we went and got Laramie Tunsil, and not one person in the world rumored that to happen.
Right.
At all.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, honestly, if you were to like ask every like the national media and our fan base to grade our offseason so far, I'm pretty sure our fan base would give us the lowest grade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's insane.
We got Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil this offseason. Like, what? That counts too. That counts toward the offseason. Trades count, bro.
And we like people are talking about big names. We're like the biggest trade names right now. Like maybe we don't have the biggest free agency signing names, but when it comes to trades, like all pros, bowlers, left and right,
stars.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people got caught up in the Trey Hendrickson hype too. I think when that report came out, everybody was like, yeah, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. It hasn't happened so far. It's not going to happen now.
Somebody read me my rights. They were mad at me, boy. They were so I think I understand why the fans are upset. I don't get how you can be so upset at Adam Peters, but I get it because we were talking about so many guys. We had all this cap space, and we talked about all these different guys at different positions, and we didn't get any of them for the most part. You know, outside of Deebo and Laramie Tunsil, it's a bunch of guys that, and this is, people struggle with guys that they don't know, they've never heard of. You know what I'm saying? Ignorance is not bliss in this particular situation.
Oh, you're ass immediately if you don't know the player.
Facts. Like that's the default. If I don't know you ask, you're trash, right? Because I would know you if you were good. That's the thought process. Yeah. So it's been a struggle with the fan base because I'm like, just off the strength of what he did last year, he being Adam Peters, wouldn't you just trust him? Just given the fact that we hadn't done Jack Diddley poo squat for over 30 years, and this man comes in year one, and we go all the way to the NFC Championship game, just off the strength of that, and then knowing that he is trying to protect the most valuable asset this franchise has ever had. I didn't stutter. Ever had. And he goes out and gets him Laramie Tunsil.
Right.
I don't understand.
It's not like Dallas where the first move they made was signing a long snapper.
A long snapper
on day one.
Oh, Dallas loved trading for a formerly good first round pick too. They hit him with a back-to-back Kenneth Murray, Kyer Elam back-to-back.
Yeah,
they're getting active on the trade market.
We didn't trade our best safety for a first round bust guard.
A guard.
Oh yeah.
A guard.
Yo, Kenyon Green is ass, yo. He is terrible.
He was almost a Commander. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Real close.
I like Kenyon Green.
Bet Boy Tony C. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Bet Boy Tony C writes, I love the moves we're making. A Pro Bowl caliber left tackle is priceless. They don't grow on trees, y'all. Winning teams never have high enough picks to get one of those. Cook AP. Peace, Kings.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you, Tony. You got it. You understand you understand the game, Tony. Mr. CB1274. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Right. When you miss on the big fish in free agency, you don't overpay. You grab cap-friendly upgrades. I'm not mad.
Yep.
And
contingency plans, man. Contingency plans.
And we don't know who they were in on, and if they just got outbid. You know,
that's a great point. They're not just ignoring all of free agency. They probably had a number for a bunch of guys, and we're not going to go over it to overpay like some of these But like, I like Milton Williams. Do I think he's $26 million a year? Good.
That was wild.
Hell no.
That was wild.
So the Patriots like, we got money, we gonna use it.
Like, is he $11 million a year better than Javon Kinlaw? Hell no.
No.
That's wild, bro.
Nah.
I mean, I thought that the one that was going to get that was Josh Sweat.
Yep. And when I seen he only got, when I saw his number, I was like, oh, I would do that. I wouldn't matter.
I was like, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was. You know what I'm saying?
I would have
did that. That's the type of player he is. He didn't get paid elite. I thought he was going to get paid elite.
Yep. Exactly. Swaggy P. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Swaggy P writes, Commander Kangs. What up, Swaggy? Just here to say cheers to not having Benjamin St. Booty Juice and Michael Davis on our team anymore. Hey, man. Shout out to the Chargers, man. Bless up for them taking that trash off our hands. And I wish Benjamin St. Juice nothing but the best, man.
Absolutely.
What if he turned into Cody Barton on the Broncos last year?
It's always a possibility, man.
Oh man,
I hope he doesn't have to get deported by the fans each week. I hope the best for him out there, man.
Just if they know like we know, don't start him. Like, just have him be somebody off the bench. Like Michael Davis, he stunk, but at least he was off the bench funk.
Yep.
Right? It's different when it's like off the bench funk is different than, hey, we starting this right here. Because it ain't no going back for that. If you're on the bench and I put you in, you go back to the bench, right? We'll find an alternative. If I was starting you and I go to the bench, dude, and he sucks, I ain't got no choice but to come back to you, right?
Right.
So I hope they get that right. Father of Zaya, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Adam Peters and his staff move in silence. That atom bomb he set off with Tunzel, like Rio said. Nobody had that. Nobody.
And even more impressive is the report that like we really wanted Ronnie Stanley. That was the contingency plan. That was like the pivot. That was we missed on Ronnie Stanley. He chose to take less money to stay with the Ravens. So then after that, they worked on the Laramie Tunsil trade. So that's just amazing that wasn't like the plan from the whole way through. They figured that out on the fly. So hey, I think Adam Peters is a wizard for that one, man.
Yeah, and like you said, that's a great point. They were in on, and clearly they were in on Ronnie Stanley. Had he made it to free agency, they were going to go get Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah, they was going to get him.
Yeah. He says, Adam hasn't done anything we thought he would do. All we do as a fan base is speculate. No leaks. I love it. That's how you want it. For years, we had all types of leaks in our organization. People would know what we were doing before we even knew what the hell we were doing. Right. The secrecy for us used to be telling Doug Williams when we traded for Alex Smith to turn off all your devices. Right. That was secrecy for us.
Yep.
Now we have no idea what's going on, and I love it. It's a surprise every day.
It's adults in the room.
Facts. Don P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, seems like the majority of the fan base want to go all out for a 2-4 playoff run. I'd rather be like Baltimore and Pittsburgh and have 10, 15-year runs.
Yep.
That's the goal ultimately. And when you got one of them ones at quarterback, you got an infinite window, right? That stays open. Now the question is, can you surround him with enough talent to where he can win not just one, but multiple Super Bowls? That's the goal, right? Yep. Get one first. The goal is multiple Super Bowls, multiple chips. Mr. CB1274. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, we've been trashed more or less for 30 years. We finally start winning and everyone turns to a GM. Yeah, that facts. I mean, everybody thinks they know what's best for the squad now, right? Everybody's ready to, we need to get this guy, we need to get that guy. But that's what being a fan is all about.
Yeah, it's fanaticism. That is exactly what fanaticism is, man.
IP Primetime Henry. Thank you for the super sticker.
Boy, Lou got out of there. He didn't even try.
Henry.
Hey, I was
time.
Well, he hit that KG reading that word. What KG word was trying to read?
Hey, I said, look, man, that one finna kick my ass real quick.
I know what your clip you're talking about. I forgot the word.
Nah, man.
Did you hear Webby trying to
equivalent?
Oh my God!
Did you hear what he said?
DJ Envy, Charlemagne.
Yeah. God.
Charlemagne. Charlemagne.
Ooh, I did not hear that.
Yo, Webby
please find that clip.
He is
nah.
He read it back like 3 times and we kept Charlemagne.
He read it like 80 times. He did like 80 takes because he couldn't get Envy. Angela Yee was kicking his ass, boy. Yee was giving him work, boy. And then once he got past Angela Yee and DJ Envy, boy, Charlemagne, boy. I mean, finished his ass off.
I mean, like, did he never hear his name? He was reading it for the first time. I'm just confused on how he came away with that.
Could not get that name, bro.
But Baton Rouge, man. Baton Rouge, man. Them my people out there, but boy.
Sean Moore, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Sean Moore, thank you for the $20 dono. Right? What it do, bros? Men Warehouse ends. Hey, look, we got look.
You went in there and got a 3 for 20, boy. We said we good for this event. We good for 1 year off that.
Hey, oh no, not a 3 for 20, man.
Hey, that remind me of back in the day where we was wearing tall tees where you can get the 5 for 20 at Foot Locker, bro. That's what that sounds like. Hey. That's what our edge room look like. Right now.
Bro, stop it, man. Cut it out, man. Lord, man.
Hey man, we gonna make it work, man. We gonna find a way.
Hey.
We need some designer, man.
It remind me of when we used to shop at this place called Jimmy Jazz. Hey, look, man. You would get a name brand shirt and it would be a Fruit of Balloon tag.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
man.
Last stop is crazy.
Yeah. Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, which new player will improve most with our coaching staff? Who you think will upgrade one of these players?
So one of the new players.
Yes, somebody that can't not somebody that was here last year.
I think the easiest answer, at least like it's a mix of hope and what I actually do think, is Javon Kinlaw. And I feel like by far can probably benefit the most by this new coaching staff. First of all, he reunites with Daryl Tapp and Adam Peters. I feel like that's going to be big. If we went and got this guy after a lot of people didn't want him, I feel like they know something that even us fans don't know. Like, you know, with the injuries at first, he was a first-round talent. Injuries happen. He goes to the Jets. He finally has a fully healthy season. He has his best season by far of his career. They see that first-round potential in him, and I guess they, talking to Dan Quinn, Joe Wood Jr., they figured out a plan for him. Like, we're going to get what he should have been years ago out of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off that too. The whole elephant in philosophy, I think Dan Quinn is gonna do that with him. What he did in Seattle, Javon Kinlaw, he did gain 30 pounds, so you know he had stopped the run better too. And just have more power and physicality. So I think they got a plan for him for sure. So I think he can improve, and you know he has to be comfortable here with Adam Peters. So I do think he's gonna have a solid season here. I think he would come in and have the most improvement under this staff.
I like both of y'all answer. I'm gonna go a little bit different with it, but definitely I do feel the thing with Javon Kinlaw, to quote the great Skip Bayless, we added some girth and tonnage on the inside. We added some beef in the middle. Yeah. But my answer.
Boy.
That's one of the craziest things ever said on TV, by the way.
Hey. He used to be tripping, man. He got a lot of them.
Hey, I said some pretty out of pocket stuff yesterday. So I'm gonna tell you. I said yesterday, does Jeremy Chin not have the strongest head you've ever seen in your life?
Oh my. He does. His head is strong. His forehead looked like a bicep.
No, it is. Hey, he would have been better off playing without a helmet. I ain't gonna lie. He might have hit harder without the helmet.
His cranium definitely is a sniper's dream. But
he would have been way better off playing without the helmet, boy. That would have did way more damage.
Hey, when he goes bald, that shit's gonna be wicked. But my answer
that's that Mario missile, that little big black thing that catch up to you, boy.
A little bullet on Mario.
Yeah, Kart. the big huge missile bullet, boy.
Oh my. Answer for the question, I'm going Deebo Samuel, and it's for a combination of Cliff and Jaden. Not only like you're getting another good offensive coordinator, you're getting a quarterback that is not limited. Like this ain't Brock Purdy over here. You already have to guess what we're doing because we got a quarterback that when he decides to run, he's as elusive and dangerous as any quarterback in the league. Or he could be a surgical drop back passer. So I'm taking Deebo Samuel. I think we're going to get closer to prime Deebo than we're going to get to washed pneumonia Deebo.
This man said his cranium is a sniper.
Yeah, boy, his head looked like a Looney Tunes anvil, boy.
Looney Tunes.
I know a helmet. Hate to see him coming, bro.
Don't pick me. Don't pick me. Don't pick me.
Don't pick me. Telling you, bro, he would have been a way better player without the helmet, boy. Them running backs would have been scared.
Oh man,
he need a Halo. He need a Halo combat helmet.
The EVA, the EVA. Yeah, he need to be the first one off the bus, man. No helmet on. When we first pull up, Jeremy Chin got to get on first. They gonna know we mean business.
Somebody said his juggernaut head ass.
Oh, y'all making my stomach hurt.
Hey, my guy is the athletic freak.
Yeah.
Mr. Harris. All right.
Okay.
So this dude plays with a temperament and a reckless abandon that would make Frankie Louvu proud. And with that kind of athleticism, that kind of speed, that kind of physicality, I think it's something that they value and something that they may be able to put in positions to make plays on. So, and I think he's better in coverage, as I already stated, than Jeremy Chin. So I think that's going to ultimately be an upgrade at that position. But I think that's a guy that can really benefit because they love that hybrid safety, that guy that I saw them, and I know a lot of Cowboys fans may disagree. I saw them do some really, good things with Marquise Bell, which was an undersized linebacker. He's really a safety at like 205, and he was putting in work that first year they put him down there in the box. I could see Will Harris doing a lot of those type things too. So that's the guy that I think is going to benefit from being in this system and some of this coaching. Let's get to the next super chat, man. Y'all wilding, bro. I can't with y'all, man.
Off-season kings, bro. Let's go.
Christopher McLaughlin, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of. I'm so used to saying that. My guy C-Mac writes, "Hey Lou, Rio, Rico, and Ed. Hope everyone is doing well. Likewise, Chris, man. We really truly do appreciate you." He says, "Question: Since the Eagles are our biggest challenge in the NFC, besides Daniels, Wade, Cosme, and Terry, name any starters on our team you would take over the Eagles on offense, defense."
Bless you, my good sir.
And special teams, and why? Any other player on the roster you would take over someone on their roster?
I'll go with my boy Tunzel now to start off.
You would take him over Jordan Mailata?
Yeah, I'll go with Tunzel. With Tunzel.
Okay, and that's viable, by the way. That's viable.
Yeah.
That's a 5-time Pro Bowler we talking about. Put some respect on his name.
Yeah.
Can y'all think of any other?
I mean, I feel like special teams is the easiest because we had Nick Bellore, Tyler Owens when healthy, required teams, Jeremy Reeves. Like I feel like that right there is the only significant talent gap that's like obvious we have over them. Jaden Daniels and our special teams guys right now, except for not kicker. Boy.
That's a good roster, man. That's a good roster.
If Austin Eckler is returning kicks, I take Eckler at kick returner.
I mean, y'all saw they got AJ Dillon. Like,
yeah,
I'm not even sure about backup running back right now.
That's the highest squatting backfield in the history of the NFL.
Boy. You can't stop that tush push.
Oh yeah. Ain't nothing.
Nah, it's impossible.
That's a lot. Easy. He said besides. I want to say Jaden so bad.
Oh yeah.
I want to cheat. He says besides Jaden.
Yeah. Yeah. Off rip.
I don't think I like any of our. players over there.
I mean,
And
look,
a lot of positions. There's a lot of positions.
Zach Bond is it a 1 year wonder with him? So
Bobby Wagner over Bond, but is that right now or for a career? Because right now, Bond.
Can he keep it up? Can Zach Bond do it again? So
Zach Bond is street player, he's system based.
and
yeah, could be.
And I don't know if we just talking like outside backer, they don't have a Frankie Louvu.
Oh, they don't. They don't.
Yeah.
So Louvu over whatever their other their linebackers are. What is it? The Georgia kid,
the Kobe Dean.
Kobe Dean.
Yeah, give me Louvu over Nakobe Dean. Easy.
I would too.
That's the
I would
answer.
too.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Brenton
Settle. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly, it probably is. I think it is. Brenton Settle, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, JD5 carried this team to the NFC Championship game. We pick at 29. This team would be picking top 10 if it wasn't for 5. It's inexcusable to barely upgrade the defense. So let me ask you this, Brenton. What was the biggest offseason goal that you had set for the team? Was it to upgrade the defense? Because for me, and I would ask the rest of the Kings this, wouldn't the biggest offseason goal be to protect the biggest investment that you have, which is the quarterback? Especially after watching the Super Bowl, knowing we got to play that team. In the NFC Championship game, Jaden was under duress.
Yep.
Wouldn't you feel like
all day
fixing the offensive line would be priority number one? Even if he's got to carry the team, your best shot at getting back there is 5, whether we like it or not.
So make your strength stronger.
Nothing wrong with that. And so getting him weapons, everybody wants to talk about this defense, but 5's capable. If we don't fumble, if we don't turn the ball over 8 gajillion times in a championship game, we got a shot. I know you don't want to hear that because it was 55 to 23. But I've already said this. 6 out of our first 9 possessions were scores. The 3 that we didn't score on, 3 turnovers.
Yep.
That were not him.
Not him. So again, I find it hard to believe, and I get it. I understand we won a bunch of games close, and you can't rely on that. But guess what? When you got one of those quarterbacks, you win those close games. That's the difference.
The great quarterbacks have a full career resume of walking teams down in the fourth quarter. So we're supposed to apologize because our young quarterback can do it.
Look, I want to build up this defense. Trust me. Mm-hmm. I want the rest of the roster to catch up to 5.
Yep.
But in the meantime, that's the strength. And as Rico just eloquently said, you make your strength stronger.
Yep.
That's what we're doing. Because if we can't make the defense exponentially better, we can make the offense stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Catch up. And, one of the fun things, and that's something we're going to touch on before we get out of here, was the commander's log. And we may have to push it the next week. But I'm thinking we're getting a part 2, right? Where they stopped at, we're getting a part 2 for the rest of the season, right?
Yep.
But didn't that remind y'all, like, watching that, like, man, we was whooping some ass, bro. We was, like, you look at the scores at some of them games, you remind yourself, like, bro, we beat the Cardinals 42-14, bro.
And a game that a lot of people were picking us to lose. We were not the favorites in that game.
And we gave 100 rushing yards in that game, too.
On a short week.
Bro.
Yeah.
The next week we came home and we rested the starters in the fourth quarter and we'd put up 34 points on the Browns, bro. That was with a turnover in the red zone. It could have been a 40 burger, easy.
That was easily Jaden's worst pick of the year.
that one in the red zone, right?
Yeah, that one was crazy.
That was crazy. Yeah.
That was a rookie pick, right? That was like man, I ain't see him.
Yeah, that's to keep him human,
It was right after the 60-yard bomb.
I was cussing Terry out because it should have never happened. We should have been in the end zone already.
High step. He should have been high stepping into the end zone.
And then then a few weeks later, it was 34-0 against Carolina without Jaden, bro. Without Jaden, bro. Like,
But what I will say about Brendan, I do, yeah, like we all said, we do get his sentiment there with the defense. You know, we didn't get one of the blue chip corners. We didn't make a trade for a defensive end. We didn't get one of the blue chip defensive end. There wasn't many in free agency, so I do get the complaints from a lot of the fan base about the defense. There still are concerns with corner and defensive end, so I get what Brendan is saying too.
Absolutely. I'm not mad at him. And I said that to the fan base. Like, I get you guys' concern and you're upset, but I always keep in mind you can't fix everything at one time. Like, it's a process, man. I know y'all want to get better right now, and you felt like we had the cap space to do it, but you took on 21 million from Tunzel, right? You took on 17.5 from Debo. Like, it ain't like we had 150 million in cap space. Like, these aren't contracts where, okay, we can front load it with a bunch of guarantees and make the base 4 million. Like, that's 17.5 million. Boom. That's 21.5 million for, and I'm not complaining for an elite left tackle. That's nothing, right? But it's still, you got to take that into consideration. So it's tough. I understand your concerns though. Courtney Wilson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Courtney writes, "Get off my man Ed. He got the best catchphrases of all y'all. Hands like a what? A
shank?
A shank? Okay. He put an extra letter in and threw me off a little bit. And shiggity. See, if these are your catchphrases, you have to say them, Ed.
Yeah, I say them all the time, but no, I think he's talking about when you talk about the Debo text. See, I wasn't high on Debo.
You muted on us, Ed. You muted on us, Ed. We can't hear you.
You can't hear
me? We can hear you.
We can hear Ed. We can hear Ed. Are you good, Lou?
Because this happens some way, somehow. I always can't hear y'all at some point.
Mike,
good now?
You hear me now?
Hold on a second. I'm gonna plug out. And plug back.
This boy having technical. Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, no. So Lou, because I was talking to Lou about the text. I think that's what Courtney's talking about. Because I wasn't super high on Debo, but yeah, Courtney.
Read it, Rio.
All right, cool. I got you. You still can't hear me, Lou? Lou, you might have to come out and come back in, my guy. But thank you, my boy Paul. That's my guy right there. $2 donation. We appreciate you. I am on the Elijah Moore train and edge, cornerback, running back, first round. Hey, I'm with it too, man. I'm with it too. And when I talk about Elijah Moore, like, he's one of those rare cases of a guy that came into the league young as hell. You sound good now, Lou. You good, Lou? You good, Lou? You Gucci? You might have to plug up. He might have to exit the stream and come back. But Elijah Moore is someone that makes a ton of sense because I think he's a big upgrade from like OZ and company. He's played with like Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson in the mess at Cleveland. He hasn't really had a chance to go crazy with a good quarterback yet. He's the same age as Jaden Daniels, despite playing 4 years in the league. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy, bro. They're both 24 years old.
That is insane. That is crazy.
That is wild as hell, man. But go ahead, keep it.
Elijah Moore, he would be a good pickup when he got opportunities. When Jameis was just throwing the ball all over the place. When he gets opportunities, that's when he was showing out. So I always liked him at Ole Miss. He used to talk trash, and then he did that celebration that he got a flag on at Ole Miss. So I always like that dog mentality that he's got.
And he runs a 4.35. And what we're missing in the wide receiver room is speed and size. He takes care of one of those things. We could still need a bigger receiver.
Literally the entire offense. Like, we need speed everywhere. I love Zach Ertz, but I feel like we need more speed and athleticism in the tight end room. I feel like we definitely need it in the receiver room. And we all agree we need a home run hitter in the running back room.
Younger OZ with size. Younger OZ with lightning speed. Like, come on, man.
Literally. Yep.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. I had to switch out the thing where it was coming from. So LA at Brooklyn. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. First of all, thank you for the generosity. $50 dono. We really, truly do appreciate you, LA at Brooklyn, who writes, "Blessings, Kings. Likewise.
Hey.
So far, really like what Adam Peters is doing. Calculated risks, 1 or 2 big splashes, and ignoring the fan base for the most part. Love my Washington brothers, but some of you really think this is Madden. Laughing my ass off. You're not wrong there. A lot of people think they playing Madden, man.
Call it Maddenese, man. They speaking Maddenese out here, man. And Madden don't even be let you get the trades off that we be talking about.
No, that's what the Jets do. The Jets owner, he plays Madden.
Clearly. That's why what's his face is not a Jet right now. What's the name of that thing? Jerry Jeudy is not a Jet now.
Because Madden rating wasn't up to par, man.
Crazy.
Wasn't up to par.
That was crazy.
Then goes to Cleveland and shows life.
Greg, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Greg writes, our fans already done with AP, but made every excuse in the world for Rivera. Had to mute some guys on Twitter because they kept complaining. Social media is a dangerous place, man. I keep telling y'all, if you're looking to keep your sanity, you got to limit the amount of time you up there because you're going to see some crazy stuff up there.
Hey, I'm telling you, the best way to do it, bro. Post what you need to post, scroll for news, and get off. Do not even spend your time going back and forth with people on social media because people are having bad days and they want to make your day equivalent to theirs, man. Don't waste your time.
I 100% agree, man. Get what you need to get and get out. That's the old bread, eggs, and cheese trip to the store, right? Don't get caught up shopping for cookies and in there getting all kinds of extra stuff you ain't coming there for. If the list is bread, eggs, cheese, and milk, get it and get out, right?
Yep.
That's how you treat social media. Gearcell 1, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Hey, go Ed, you read this. This is Ed's highlight of the night every week.
All the AP haters, your mama and dad both wear sandpaper yellow yoga pants with Benning Road. Shout out to Benning Road. Corduroy boxers and cheesecake socks.
What are cheesecake
socks?
Oh, that sounds like wet socks, man. Tragic.
It sounds like a Young Dro lyric. Like that, like the adjectives, like the way he describes.
I wear sandpaper yellow yoga pants, Benning Road, corduroy boxer, cheesecake socks.
Literally, bro.
It do sound like Dro.
Hey, go ahead, man.
That shit get me every week, man.
That's wild. Biggie Steve, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Biggie Steve, right? St. Juice, one man's trash is another man's treasure. We see. Honestly, I'm rooting for him. I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to get a kick out of him when he would flash the 9 on the hip when he was strapped. I was like, "Oh, you like that? It's like that." When he would lock him up.
Yeah, like 3 different celebrations. He was ready. He had to see.
Well, look, the league said once they saw Benjamin St. Juice saying he was strapped, it was like, we got to ban this shit. Like, we know he ain't strapped. Sure. So
I ain't never seen somebody celebrate after an overthrown pass more than Benjamin St. Juice, man.
Hey, look, man, you got to get him in when you can.
But St. Juice was, he did it more than everybody else, though. But
he patented that shit.
Gerard Swan. Shout out to my guy, Gerard. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Kings, for me, we have to make sure whoever we draft with the 1st, 2nd, and 4th picks, they have to be able to play like Mikey and Coleman and produce. Can't be like Luke and Ben, best player available at defensive end, cornerback, running back, period.
Hey, y'all see they let Luke speak so much at the beginning of the Commander's Law. Did that get to y'all? Did that tickle y'all a little bit? They let Luke get like 10 minutes of fame on that.
Hey, look, man, I wasn't mad at it because we kill Luke, right? We have a fun at his expense, but Luke had the big catch. He stole it against Cincinnati. He stole that catch on 4th down. That was not for him.
Yep.
And he had the catch in the first game against Tampa. He got tackled at the one that set up that last touchdown.
A little kick return.
He had a bunch of kick returns, right? So he served a purpose on this roster. He ran down it. It wasn't him. It was OZ who recovered that fumble against Cleveland, right?
I think it was OZ.
It was OZ, right?
Yeah.
But so I love that they gave him a little shine, little mic time, little face time.
Hosting that joint like he Brian Cobra Jr. He was on there.
I was like, I know he ain't finna narrate the whole joint though.
I was wondering that.
Like, wait a minute now.
Ain't no way.
That ain't what happened here, is
And
it?
here, I was on the sideline when Terry caught this pass.
Yo, I was
Hey,
like, wait a minute, what we doing right now?
that and B-Rob was so active early on the video, and then he just stops being on the for like half the video.
Yo,
That was crazy. That was sad.
it was crazy. That cliff after the Arizona win breakdown get me every time, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Every time.
Yeah.
But Gerard says that we need guys to come in and play like Mikey and Brandon Coleman. I think we all agree with that assessment. Like, you want your especially the day 1 and 2 picks in particular to be. I think that's the part that really got to a lot of people for Johnny, and not like Johnny didn't play. He just didn't really do much.
It flashed as much as we wanted it to.
Right. And then, obviously Luke for a 3rd round pick. You would like to see a little bit more, but again, I'm not as down on Luke as some people are. I'm not, but we'll see what happens. Biggie Steve, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, I like that we got hit sticks in the secondary. We got some dudes that'll light you up for sure.
That's what I've been saying about all of these secondary signings. If it ain't not nothing else they gonna do, they gonna hit.
Main thing I was looking at for Harris was, does he wrap up and tackle? Because Chin was a thudder.
Yeah, Harris, he'll wrap up too, but he definitely. I mean, that play you talking about with Tyler Algier, that was a shoulder, bro.
Yeah, that was.
It was a lethal shoulder.
And Algier, one of the hardest, the strongest backs in the league.
You don't see him go backwards too often. Duncan Wright, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Duncan writes, let me ask you guys a question. Our resident Eagles fan.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Magic pay the refs by Visa or by cash or Visa? Go on.
The refs hoe us more than we get saved by refs. I promise you, we do not be getting calls.
Like, Duncan, did you see the Saints game where they stopped the clock so they could get more time?
Did you see the Steelers game?
Oh my God!
Like, it's plenty.
And I can tell you too, like as a Georgia Bulldog fan, I admit that we get a lot more calls than the teams we play against. The Commanders are not that same way. It's the exact opposite. I'm gonna be completely objective with you. My Georgia Bulldogs get a lot of calls we don't deserve. The Commanders are the super opposite.
Facts. William Rogers Jr., thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Keenan Allen as a number 2?
I do like Keenan Allen, but as your number 2, it's not ideal.
Noah Brown.
Yeah, I still like Amari Cooper, honestly. I would like to take a flyer on him for a 1-year deal. I don't know about number 2, but I would like to add him to the roster.
I don't like that Keenan Allen showed up to camp last year built like me. He came into camp a little thick, man. You already getting up there, like your football years. 32 in football years is up there, man. He did end up having a connection with Caleb, but as a 2 at this point, I'm not sure. I mean, he's still good, but I think I'll go. Yeah, we've already signed enough over 30 players, man. Like, come on, man. At some point, this shit got to stop.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Terrence Howard.
Vladimir Alabi, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Vladimir writes, love what AP has done so far on improving the offense this offseason. What's the plan moving forward to improve the defense? Eagles are stacked. Again, he's taking baby steps in that progress. Like, I feel like he swung for the fences on offense. And on defense, he's taking baby steps. And offense, he's literally hit a home run with Tunzel, and we think he hit a home run with Debo. Yep. And I just think he's trying to make contact on defense. He's trying to hit singles, get runners on base. Like, nothing he's done is earth-shattering on that side. But as I mentioned, a lot of the moves are upgrades over the dudes we had last year. Again, it's a low bar, I know, but
them draft picks are vital. Like,
they're gonna have to be.
We gotta hit. Early on, like that first, that second, and that fourth, we gotta hit, bro.
Yeah, and to your point, Lou, like I mean, it's kind of like pick your poison. It's really hard to fix everything in you know, each off season. So similar to what you were saying, where like it's better to be able to stop the run because that's like that death by 1,000 cuts is worse. And at least we fixed that. And then same thing, if you had to pick between being great at offense or great at defense, and you can't have both, you'll take the offense, especially with the way that the NFL is set up right now.
Yeah, we'll see how they address the draft. Yeah, once again, I mean the cornerback spot. Not getting Charvarius hurt, so I get the whole defensive concerns there. Not getting DJ Reed and not getting Byron Murphy, who was a small possibility. Javon Holland, who I think people got wrapped up into, and we just didn't get the big name pass rusher. I think that's just the thing that people are wrapped up on right now. We didn't get a blue chip edge rusher.
That Javon Holland thing was crazy too, because when he ran down that list of what he wanted in a team, the Giants are almost none of that. Like we're all
that
of
was
it.
The funny part about that.
So money talks, man. Hey, that man went where the check was. That's it.
People be capping, man. Like just say you want the money, bro. Just say I'm trying to get paid.
Yeah. Miles Garrett too.
Y'all see Justin Simmons kind of like throwing out the possibility.
He was glazing us, boy.
Us in Philly, he was selling himself to us in Philly, bro.
Well, I think Philly makes a ton of sense because that's his old defensive coordinator. Right? That matter of fact, he was his head coach, if I'm not mistaken, in Denver. And so he's got a relationship with him, but at this stage of his career, I think he's chasing a chip too, right? So chasing a bag, chasing the chip, all of that. And who doesn't want to play for either Philadelphia or Washington right now? Like we were both in the NFC Championship game. Eagles won the Super Bowl, and we got the hottest quarterback in the conference. Like who doesn't want to play for Washington? I get it. He'll be available in May and in June, like he was last year. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Duncan Wright. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, please tell me how the heck a tackle is allowed to catch a touchdown pass.
Tackle eligible.
Is he talking about the Bengals game?
Yeah, he is.
You got to report it as a tackle eligible to the referees.
It's like we literally showcase it. You can hear it over like the announcements in the stadium. Like the tackle is eligible and all of that type of stuff. We announce it.
Tackle has reported eligible.
That's it. How is the center supposed to line up over the line of scrimmage repeatedly on a single play that's about to be banned? So that's the question for you, Duncan.
There you go. And our nickname for my guy is, we call him Drunken Right. If you catch him on the right night, he's behaving himself tonight. Biggie Steve, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Biggie Steve, writes, Chin co-starring in the movie Minecraft. All the dumb, man. This is a good one from Captain Obvious.
His head got shoulders, man.
Greatly appreciate you. He says, with a forehead that big, got the nerve to have the last name Chin. That's nasty work.
His head got shoulders.
No.
It do.
Head and shoulders. Chauncey Davis, my guy, triple OG. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, Lou, witnessed all three of the Super Bowl wins, took a lot of heat during the Snyder years, but never wavered as a fan. We'll be celebrating my 71st birthday on the 16th. I'm trusting the process, man. Salute to the OG.
Real one.
Mr. Chauncey Davis. Let me get this out of the way now. Happy Born Day, man. That is awesome. And we all are blessed to have you supporting us, and we all hope to live as long as you have, and many, many more, man. Blessings to you and yours. Many, many more in the future.
You've seen it all, Chauncey. You've seen it all, man.
A real one too, man. And that's a real fan right there. He didn't come in with complaints about some name or uniforms. It was all real, man. Shout out to him.
Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Captain Obvious writes, can we get Louvu to catch his picks this year, man? You should have had at least 3 of them joints this year.
We just need to throw footballs at him all off season. Even when he at home on the couch, if you just start throwing them at him out of nowhere, I bet you're going to catch him then.
We collectively need to learn how to catch picks. But I'm not saying we need to be Houston, but can we put a dent in that? So when you watch Houston's secondary interception,
They don't
numbers,
drop nothing, bro.
I've never seen anything like that in my life, bro.
And they make spectacular plays on the ball.
Yep.
Like these aren't like overthrows where like they going up and getting it.
That's the
in
no-fly
coverage.
zone. That's the no-fly zone. But they got like 3 dudes with 5 picks. They got 2 rookies with 3+ picks. Like, what are we doing over there?
Yeah. Caleb Bullock came in. You know, Lassiter came in like off the rip, and then I think they got the best corner in the league. And
there's at least a conversation between
him and PS2. Yeah, he nasty, bro.
Yeah, we talk about ball is life all the time. We got to make it happen.
Ball life over there, for real.
Facts.
We need Chris Harris back to yell at him.
Britton Settle, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Chin head so big, he been told to hold that thought his whole life.
He starts every sentence with "I know it's crazy."
That man trying to mind his business, man. He's just trying to play football.
He trying to mind his business. That's a bar, Rico. Huh? Duncan Wright. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Duncan writes, hey folks, did you know Rio used to wear an Eagles jersey as a teenager? It's on a video. Plus his mom named his brother after Jalen Hurts. Jay Morgan Discus.
There's never been a video. He keeps saying this like he's trying to spread like it's fake news. I've never worn Eagle. I played for the Freedom Eagles in high school in Woodbridge, Virginia. So there's videos of me looking crazy in my black and gold Eagle. Our logo is the Philadelphia Eagles jersey. The Eagles logo. Yeah. We was black and gold. I played for the Freedom. I ain't never worn a Philadelphia Eagles jersey, man.
He be spreading slanderous lies, man. But we've already established he wants to be a Commanders fan. His mom is a Commanders fan. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, his mother is a Commanders fan. He's really a closet Commanders fan. We waiting for you to come out, bro.
She living right. Mama living right over there, man.
Facts. Kyle W.
Right back at
Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Salute, Kings. Salute, Kyle. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the support. Dex Wayne. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, what up? What up, though?
What's so good?
Rico, my dog. He said, do we trade back to get more draft capital or draft Amarian Hampton and Darian Porter?
I mean, that would be beautiful. If we could finesse that, to trade back and get Amarian Hampton, I don't think that. I'm not even sure if he's there at 29.
He won't
be. Let's say they already started to mock him in the teams.
Yeah, he won't be.
It's over with.
Yep,
once he ran that 40, it was over. Because that was the only question people had about him.
And when Genty go top 7 or 8, and that's what he's definitely going sooner than everyone. He's going to go like Jahmyr Gibbs did.
In order for him to fall, Genty's got to fall first.
Yep. That or some character concerns got to come out.
Gas mask. It was good, Wayne.
T-Roy. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. T-Roy writes, would y'all be upset if we went O-line first pick? Tackle would shore up the offense. No, I can answer that for myself. No, I want best player available. And if they say Simmons out of Ohio State is the best player available at 29, and that's what they do, I'm with it.
I'm with it too.
I mean, you could argue, it's literally just the injury that why he's not like a top 10, top 15.
He would probably be the consensus number 1 tackle.
He would.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, that's if he fought us and with the offensive lineman that we already have, you can let him cook. You can put him in the refrigerator real quick, and then that's your Andrew Wiley replacement. Now you have 2 bookend elite tackles. I'm down. I'm down for it. Like Lou said, any best case scenario, let's do it.
And then my boy Coleman can slide naturally into that guard spot. Guard.
Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rocky D writes, what's your take on Dietrich Wise Jr. just got him? So I talked about it earlier. he's a good football player. Like you're not going to be disappointed in Dietrich Wise. He's an upgrade over Cleveland Farrell. He sets a physical edge in the run game. He's not going to win a ton of one-on-one matchups, but if you put a subpar mid tackle in front of him, he can win. And so he's a guy that's going to get you anywhere from 4 to 6 sacks, right? Which what did Cleveland Farrell get us? I think he got us. He might have got us 4 last year. I'm not sure.
Cleveland Farrell, I think he got like 2.5, 3 or something like
that. Yeah, he jumped
have...
out to a fast, quick 2, and then he went quiet, radio silent.
Yeah, because he lived on the injury report for the rest of the season.
So
yeah, I thought we had one. I was like, oh, Cleveland Farrell, maybe revive his career here. And boy, it tailed off immediately.
Big Clee.
Yeah. So Dietrich Wise is going to be an upgrade over Cleveland Farrell. He's a good player. He's going to be solid. You're not going to be disappointed in him, but don't ask him to be anything more than what he is, which is a solid, low-end starter, probably high-end backup defensive end. And we're probably going to start him. So he'll be a low-end starter for us more likely than not. The goal, the ideal situation would be for him to pass the baton off, not like the girl that just busts the other girl in the head with the baton, but pass the baton off to a rookie edge rusher by like week 8 or 9 would be the ideal situation, and then just let that young fella go, right? Yep. So we'll see what happens, but he's a solid signing. I have no issues with Dietrich Wise.
I ain't mad at it either, man.
Vladimir Alabi, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, are there any DNs or cornerbacks left in free agency that you guys are interested in the team signing? I got one corner. I like a Witherspoon.
Okay. The Rams.
So, yeah, I would take a on a 1-year deal, bring him in. I think he could stabilize the opposite side. And you still would need to draft a corner so that next year that guy could slide in seamlessly. But I do like a Witherspoon. I'm not a Asante Samuel guy. I don't think he's signed yet, but that's not my cup of tea.
The market is speaking to him right now too.
Facts. I mean,
it does. Yeah,
all the corners that gone off the board. I mean, they reaching, and it's the same thing I said about Elijah Moore. Like, I mean, dudes is like Jacksonville reached over Elijah Moore and said, hey, let me get that De'Ami Brown for 10. Right? Like, teams are doing
crazy.
Everything in their power to reach around Elijah Moore and everything to reach around Asante Samuel Jr. Like, that's wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
I would say, of course, one of our own guys, Dante Fowler, if they can get a deal done. I've always liked Zadarius Smith.
Yep.
So if his market goes down, you can get him cheap on a 1-year deal.
That's my guy too. Yep.
Yeah,
I love that one.
We had rumor interest in him at the trade deadline, reportedly. So, cornerback, I was just looking at the list too. I do like Rasul Douglas. Only reason why is because he does force turnovers, and him as a depth piece, I'm not mad at, because he wouldn't be our starter, so he would be a rotational corner. And then of course one of our own guys, Noah I, is still a free agent. And then honestly, like that's really it for the most part. You know, we all love Mike Hilton, but he's older now, and it's like Gilmore, and those are the only guys. Kendall Fuller's out there. Shaquille Griffin's not bad. So it's really not much at the cornerback spot right now.
As far as edge is concerned, we can get a guy that's never produced. At some point, we got to add some damn young players and hope we could get what they didn't get on their rookie contract. K'Lavon Chaisson is 25 years old. He's been relatively healthy his entire career so far. He's probably not going to cost anything. Why not add some young talent to the room? 25 years old. He probably got like 2 sacks a year. He got that Shamar Stewart production on his jacket right now, but he's young. See what you get out of him, and maybe you can get more than we would get out of some of these other guys out there.
Paul Kyoko, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Just appreciating the Kangs on here, cracking me up, man. Hey, these dudes are some stone cold fools, man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. They got my dang on chest hurting, cheeks was hurting earlier, bro. I can't.
Whoa.
Pause, bro. Pause, bro.
Jesus Christ, Lou. Oh my God.
I be so oblivious too, bro. I be so oblivious, and then I look in the comments and they be like, "Whoa, bro,
Lou,
what are you doing?" I'm like, "Wait a minute."
I've been trained by having a party chat that's consistently 12, 15 people in it every day. So I've already trained myself.
Oh my God, they be killing me, bro. I be realizing I'm getting better, but man. Every now and again,
that's not better, man. That's not better right there.
maybe less frequent. Let's say maybe less frequent,
worse,
but I don't know about better.
It was a lot worse, man. I'm trying to tell you.
They be having my cheeks hurting. It's crazy.
I would say maybe less frequent, but I don't know about better, Lou. I don't know.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, it's getting better, man. I promise you, it was a lot worse than this.
Oh man.
Oh man. I can't with y'all, man. I'm done with y'all. See, I try to be nice and look what it gets me, man.
Have he read the tweet about how we some fools too?
Supreme Chancellor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, hey, first of all, thank you for the $20 dono, man. Really appreciate you. Who writes, what a wonderful day. Commanders getting better. My 4 favorite dudes talking football. Thank you for all the work you do to keep me informed. Hail to the Fab Four, man. We really, truly do appreciate you. Thank you for the support.
Y'all making this go, man. Y'all make this go.
Without question. Without y'all, it's no us. Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Rico, hella random. Been meaning to ask you, what made you come up with the dog videos on the corner of your videos?
Honestly don't even remember like the exact day I started it, but I know like in general, I was just like, I love my dogs. It'll be something different that'll set me apart. Cause it was like very early before like I was like anywhere near as known as I am now. And so I was like, this will separate me a little bit. I love my fluffies. I feel like everybody should love my dogs, as much as I do. So I was like, I'm gonna show them.
That's real.
Yeah, Street Scores made a car video today.
Oh yeah, that was terrible too. Like I did my natural pauses, like as if I was gonna edit stuff in there, and then so I just have random 5 seconds of like waiting for the intro, and there's no intro. I'm not used to it. I forgot that I'm not gonna edit it. I don't know. That was never again.
Welcome to the club, man. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I'm not as natural with it as everybody else.
You'll get there. You'll get there. Hey, speaking of that crazy stuff, I talked about the video that have y'all seen the video of the 2 Miami Dolphins ladies watching the games, and they be saying like
outrageous stuff. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's wild. I was like, man, it's crazy the sport that we love. They be saying my wife was like, she was tripping because we were watching the combine and they was talking about an offensive lineman's bubble butt. And she was like,
Mike Mayock, look at that bubble.
Oh yeah, Mike Mayock.
Look at that bubble butt.
She was like, what? And my wife was like, what? I tried to explain it to her. She was not trying to hear that, bro.
Talking about guys' length and like we do. Fandom brings some crazy shit out of it for real.
Yo, dude.
Yeah, I think Chris Sims, like, if you talking about somebody that uses all of that type of lingo and stuff like that,
hips and ass.
Like,
his thing is hips and ass.
Chris Sims, boy,
hips and ass. Hey, yo, Chris Sims hilarious, bro. Chris Sims
is
hilarious. I love his body.
He be dead ass.
And
too.
my boy Brooks Austin that be reporting for Georgia, boy, he gonna give you all. He even does like a little segment, like every week at the end of the week, he does like a little run through all of his pause moments for like 5 minutes. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's wild, man. I probably got a good 20 minutes worth of them joints. My damn self. Killing me, bro. Supreme Chancellor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Question for all 4: which free agent or trade makes us all continue to believe in Adam P's magic? You know the one.
We already know.
You know the one.
Laramie Tunsil.
Gas mask shouty. Let's go.
I think he's talking about like a future joint.
Are we talking about a future trade
Yeah.
or if they still go up? Yo, so what are our thoughts if they send a second to Cincinnati and extend Trey Hendrickson after everything we've already done? What is the room feeling at that point? I would love to
I'm
know.
not mad at
It,
this.
it depends on the per year on that money. That because the second, I'm cool with the second. Is just is he surpassing Max
33 million a
Crosby's
year.
contract?
33 million a year. We give them
33.
a second round pick. Are you cool with it?
Yeah, I'm cool with it because we need an edge bad,
I-
man. We need an edge bad.
That would probably be the most like
but-
telegraphed trade back situation in the history of the 29th
Oh,
pick.
literally, bro.
Before
First
the
round
Tunzel-
and then nothing until the fourth. Oh yeah, we're trading back for sure.
before the Tunzel trade, that definitely would have been a go for sure. Like,
Somebody,
I thought.
I had the dopest trade that I thought would be awesome. Cincinnati wouldn't do it clearly with what they want, but they said we trade our first, we get Trey Hendrickson a third and a fifth back in return. Would you do that?
Oh, to say that again?
So we trade our first to them.
Mhm.
They trade us Trey Hendrickson, their third and their fifth. We don't have a third. We don't have a
So
fifth.
then
right
we'll
now.
have a. So then
But
we'll
why
have a
would we be?
second,
Why would we
third,
be getting the
fourth,
third
fifth.
and the fifth though?
They just
Because
added.
you're giving up a first round pick for him.
Instead of the
okay,
second.
okay,
Instead
okay,
of the
okay,
second. So we would
okay.
have by the end of that, we would have Trey Hendrickson, a second, third, fourth, and a fifth.
And a
We
fifth.
already have the fourth.
Oh, that's
though.
fire. Oh, that's
That's
kinda
what I said.
fire. Oh, okay. Okay.
I would do that.
I love that trade.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I ain't mad
Especially
at that.
29th. We're not even talking about 15th or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah.
We're talking about 29th.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense actually, because our first is like a second already. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fire. And to
Yeah.
add a third and oh yeah, no, that's fire. That's
Yeah.
gas.
Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat.
Now
Greatly
I'm sad
appreciate
it's
you.
not happening. I'm sad we talked about it.
No bullshit.
I'm kind of sad that's not reality. I just
Right.
came back
When the
to
person said it, I was like, "Yo, that is actually a damn good trade."
Man,
Like,
they cooked up for real. They
yeah,
cooked
that
up.
was
for
he
real.
said. He said I figured out how we could get Trey Hendrickson. I was like, all right, what the hell he about to say? Then I read the shit. I was like, oh, that's actually a great idea. Let me pitch
made
that
me
to AP
sad.
and see how he
I'm gonna
feels
say,
about it.
can I send an email?
Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Cleese Sachs got lost in Chin's five head.
That's a crazy
I'm not
sentence.
touching no more Jeremy Chin stuff for the rest of the night. I'm in timeout. I'm done.
Hammerhead shark. When you done, when you done.
Jason Rogers, my guy, Uncle Jay. He writes, Louie back on his bullshit. I am back. I'm officially back on my bullshit, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Uncle Jay, as always, man. Good to hear from you, bruh. Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rocky D writes, first dude. Wait a minute. Time out.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do with that one. I
not.
say, go ahead, Lou.
No,
Go ahead, Lou.
no,
Yeah,
no.
Lou.
No,
That's
Go
all you.
ahead, Lou.
I'm not
All
doing that.
you, Lou.
Don't
All right.
trying to walk me into the trap, right?
Go ahead,
A
Lou.
wise man once told me every hallway got some crack in it. Don't get trapped in it, man. He tried to walk me right into the trap. I'm not doing it. Hey, that's on me. Don't blame the Canes for my transgressions, okay? That one's on me, man. Hey, I'm gonna take my my online ass whooping. So
Lou was careful as shit with that sentence.
yes, I was very careful.
He walking on eggshells around the world.
Paul Daly, thank you for the super
Trying
chat.
to avoid going
Greatly
toward the
appreciate
leaderboards,
you.
boy.
What's good, fellas? What up, Paul? Thank you for the $20 dono, man. Really appreciate you. Writes, I need you guys to help me get this name out of there for our superstar quarterback, JD5. Boy, so cool on Sundays. I call him the Cool Reaper. Loud it up, fellas.
I love that guy, man.
JD5 is the best.
I love him.
Do y'all love Cool Reaper is the question.
Cool Reaper, it's
It's
cool.
cool. You can add it to
I knew y'all was gonna do that. It's cool.
It's cool.
JD5 is just easy, you know. He just came in with the abbreviation, with the acronym nickname. It just works. It just works.
You can add it to the list. Add it to the list for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Dub, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Do y'all think AP is noticing that the 49ers money issues and making mental note not to let that happen here in DC in the future with those contracts we're seeing now?
That's a good point.
It's a very good
I would
point.
definitely think so.
It looks like it. It looks like every year we're getting a reset of cap because ain't nobody getting a long time. Ain't nobody got a 4 or 5 year deal in 2 free agencies from this team right now.
No. I think he's shaped and molded by all of his experiences, going all the way back to his time with New England, then with Denver, then with San Francisco. You pick up little tidbits from each of your stops. It kind of help shapes and mold who you are. I think the 49ers, they went for it. They went for it because Brock Purdy was on the cheapest starting quarterback deal in NFL history. So they went for it. And obviously it didn't work out. And they're in a tough spot because they really don't want to pay Brock Purdy, but they don't have no choice.
They're in the midst of an exorcism, bro. I've never seen anything like this before. They've lost Debo, Juice, Floyd, Hargrave, Collins, Greenlaw, Ward, Hufanga, Banks, Moore, Mitchell, and Josh Dobbs.
And you ain't even mentioned Bosa.
Yep. Oh my.
Oh no, not Bosa. I got the wrong Bosa. Wrong Bosa.
Bosa.
They're trying to trade Ayuk. They want to get rid of Ayuk too.
Yeah.
But his knee is pulled pork right now, so they can't really deal. They're trying to give him away. The knee attached to the contract. How they trading him,
bro? And you just named like a third of their roster, bro.
Yo, that's
don't they have higher Super Bowl odds right now too? I think
they higher than us.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They were at plus 1,400. We're at plus 1,800. Tied with
they probably need to put McCaffrey on the block.
I saw somebody tweet about that they should.
That too.
Go ahead and just commit to the rebuild.
Yeah, Trent's 36. That's crazy. I didn't know.
Hey, doing all this to pay Brock Purdy, a limited system quarterback. Hey, God bless him, man. I'm so glad that
we was in that cycle.
We damn sure was. People I ain't gonna act like we won't.
Out here paying Geno and Sam Darnold. I'm so glad to be here, man.
Gerald Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Gerald writes, aloha from Hawaii. Aloha, Gerald. Says, guys, follow Washingtonian sending support in your content, man. We really appreciate you, Gerald. Says, also, Chin is the only person feared by his barber, aspirin, and a fitted ball cap.
Now, somebody in the chat earlier said something about handsome Squidward. That was crazy.
Him and Marvin Harrison Jr. are handsome Squidward, man. Equal person whose barber fears them is when Terry go to the barber shop, bro.
Like when Terry, got the Wayne Brady. He got the Wayne Brady.
Barber got to lock in, bro. Barber got to lock in for a long day when Terry come in that joint.
He got to get the little triangle circle, that little thing to go. Boy, it's bad.
Look, I'm not one to talk about hairlines. I'm not the most blessed in that regard. However, I just be wondering, like you got to pick a side, Terry. You got to figure out what we're gonna do and make it stick, right? Like, and you know, this is the thing. Everyone that has some sort of hairline deformity or defect, they know their strengths and weaknesses. You see Terry, he got a ball cap on, or he's got one of them wave sweat caps, you know what I'm saying, on his head. So because but I just like at some point you just got to figure out like how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna freak it.
Like when everybody was saying like, oh man, the Fox got to change that animation. They did Terry dirty. I'm like, have y'all seen Terry without a helmet on before? Yeah. Like that shit looked true to form.
So that boy got a ramp.
He got acorn ass head.
Yeah, bro, man, it's bad, man. Hey, he need to just walk around.
We not gonna do that to Terry though. We got
that's our guy though.
You can do that to Chin. He ain't family no more.
I love Terry.
We can't do this to Terry.
I love Terry, but I also know his barber be sweating when he come in, bro.
He had to come right for the wedding though. He had to get away.
Rio said, when Terry come in, the barber got to lock in.
He put his AirPods in. He put on his favorite playlist. He locked in.
It take 3
Oh no!
Cancel my next.
I can't, man. I can't. Oh,
We love you, Terry McLaurin.
oh my God, Terry! It
You my
wasn't
dog,
me.
you my
I'm on
dog.
some shaggy shit. It wasn't me.
wasn't me.
It's just hey, Gerald Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Guys, I forgot to ask you. He says, when or why do we not have a strong fullback like Riggins for this era, or does that not matter anymore for the inside?
We got Ben Sinnott.
Yeah.
If we want to use it that way.
Yeah.
Got one at home.
Oh,
We
you
got,
strength available too.
the
Again,
system don't really dictate a fullback most of the time.
right. Only when you get into those short yardage situations. Yeah, you don't see a lot of teams do that anymore, Gerald. Kamora, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, do y'all like the running back from Kansas, Neil?
Devin Neal. I like Devin Neal. I think he was probably going to go day 3, but like if you had to get a running back late, he'd be on my list. He plays on an offense similar to what we do. I think he would be like an easy fit. He's not a burner, but he can bust off big runs anytime.
Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rocky D writes, hey, yo, I will be dying laughing if JD5 did a hood tweet saying after he wins the Super Bowl, this ish ain't hard for real. The NFC East foes will be hurt. No. But you know that ain't
I would
his
love
style.
that.
That ain't
Anthony. That's some Anthony Richardson type
right,
shit.
exactly. That ain't his style.
He came into the league saying the league wasn't hard.
Right. This shit easy.
And then
I mean, Jalen Carter said the same thing when he came in.
He going crazy though. You know,
he backing it up.
Definitely backing it up.
Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, JD5 is the 5-star general without question. Right now, we just got to get the right troops around him. That's what we're working on right now as we speak. DC Carrot, Community Carrot, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, so says the leader, looking at Jeremy Chin's head.
They ain't letting him breathe.
Nah. I was about to say something. I said, nope, I'm not gonna do it. Y'all trying to get me got. What's the chance Micah Parsons comes here? And he's not getting a free agency ever.
Less than 0.
Ain't no sophomore slump happening. NFC East is cooked. It's 0% chance. They're not letting him. Like Jerry Jones, I said this a lot of times. Jerry Jones is a lot of things. Stupid is not one of them. So we can call Jerry Jones a lot of names, but he ain't dumb. Yeah. Ain't no way he letting Michael Parsons get out of Dallas. They'll franchise tag that man 3 times if they have to. They can't get a deal done. Captain Obvious. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you.
It's still going.
Right. Chin doesn't need a pillow. I can't. AJSTP003. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Louie is my therapist. Rio is my voice. Ed is my shotgun rider. Rico is the guy I go to ask what he is talking about, Willis. At Chin's head is immune to telepathy. That's it's juggernaut head ass. That's that. What did Magneto? You couldn't infiltrate Magneto's helmet, right?
Oh yeah, man. This is what you get over here in this fan base, man. Look how much fun we having tonight, man. This is organic. This is fellowship. This is brotherhood. Right? We've been laughing for 2 hours.
Hey, look, man. I can't look.
Everybody cooking Chin on his way out.
Hey. My cheeks are on fire right now.
At least you thought about that while you said
it.
Got better,
man. On fire. So we will save the discussion about the commander's log for next episode. And we'll talk about hopefully episodes 1 and 2 next week. If they release it, because this was an early release. They used to do Thursdays. Am I not wrong? Am I correct on that? They used to do Thursdays, right?
Yeah, Thursdays at 7 p.m. And right. We're gonna drop one on. We're gonna drop one on your head top.
On a random Tuesday, they just hit us with one. So maybe they'll run it back for Tuesday again next week.
They said moves ain't moving like they were supposed to, so we're gonna give y'all one right now.
Right. We gonna distract y'all. Y'all look over here. Don't look at this over here. Look over here. But we'll talk about whether it's episode 2 or not next week. We'll talk about episode 1 for sure, because I don't know about y'all, but the 2024 season is the gift that keeps on giving, and I can't get enough of it. You know, the only thing that didn't happen in that season was winning the Super Bowl. Yep. So, any final thoughts, guys, before we get out of here?
I think I'm good for right now. What say y'all, fellas?
No, just don't panic, man. Trust in Adam. I know we didn't get the blue chip guys, but we'll be straight, man. And Lou, you're gonna get better, man. You're gonna get better one day.
I'm trying, man. It's what just like Adam Peters on the defensive side of football. Baby steps, man. Baby steps.
And
one day at a time.
Somehow Jeremy Chin, he's gonna catch wind of this video.
If he does and he headbutt somebody, it's a wrap.
His bank account taking good care of him, man. He good to go. He got $16 million, 16 million reasons why his Frankenstein ass head ain't a problem. So
hey, well, in that case, well said, Ed. You guys don't panic. Let AP cook. I think we're going in the right direction, and I think he's done a phenomenal job of upgrading the offense, and slowly but surely we'll get there on defense. It's not an overnight reclamation project, and so baby steps. In any event, y'all know what it is.
We got 2 more. We got 2 more supers. We got 2 more
supers. Hit us with 2 more. They hit us with 3 more. Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rocky D says, Rio, when is the Lake Show mashup?
I'm gonna talk to Lake sometime tonight. You know, I could try to squeeze him in the channel tomorrow at Thursday, but probably next week on Wednesday we'll probably do that one again.
Sounds good. Meta 4, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Meta says, Commander's Law episode 2 is projected to be Chin's head next week. He was in 1 a lot. That's why I thought about it. That's why I said what I said. He was in 1. Every time you saw some shit, he was in.
Like, getting scored on.
That Giants game. I'm thinking about that one. Gerald Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, as Chin clears his locker, they gonna say, bye, Bama. Hey, look, man, y'all ain't gonna be killing Jeremy Chin like he was ass here. He was
Jeremy Chin was a dog.
Yeah, he played well for us, right?
He was really good.
He played well for us, Gerald. William Lee, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. William Lee writes, Chin is just holding his thoughts together. Hashtag Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
he went Martin on us.
We ain't right, y'all.
Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Chin is the first one to say, all right, I'm gonna head out. Biggie Steve, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Biggie Steve writes, Chin's head is so big, everyone around him gets lost in his thoughts.
What did I start the night, man? What did I start the night?
You see what you did? You see what you did?
Me and Rico, man, we just putting them punchlines, man. It's like the Empress, like the DC.
Hey, it got so good to Rico, he didn't even know he did it.
Yeah, the mine as well. That was crazy. I didn't even notice that, Lou. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Oh man, I can't. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us. We really appreciate y'all kicking it with the kids, man. We really truly appreciate you guys' support. And we couldn't do this without y'all. If you haven't already done so, please do us a massive favor. Hit the like button on the way out. Helps this channel grow exponentially. If you haven't already done so, subscribe for more great content. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, you know what it is. If you're coming at these Kangs, you best not miss.
Yeah.
Till next time, we out.
Talk soon.
Peace.
More Ralph Lauren, less assassin. Let's get it.
More Jeremy Chin for your head top.